Hello, everybody, and welcome for the first time in what feels like a long time to CRL Fall 2025 Open Qualifiers. My name is Bub. You know me. You might not know. He's actually this way. I made this mistake last broadcast. Monkey Man. We saw you during colleague pre-jump. You're back for CRL. How you doing?
You know what? It's going really well this weekend. I've seen a lot of great talent. I saw you guys actually taking on some awesome fights early on. Still got a top 3 finish for the land that you're at. And for me, I'm just waking up after being up till 5 a.m. So you know what? Degen hours for a totally not degenerate group of awesome CRL players. And this is going to be really cool because I know at least I've been able to kind of keep track of some of these folks from the community side and the high school side coming up to y'all's program. So it's great to be able to be here with yourself, Bub. And Bub, I like that you do exactly what we do. You look at that wall to your left and you're like, you know what? He's right there.
Yep. Yeah. It's funny because like I look this way and like to the viewer, like it looks like I'm talking to you right now, right? They can't see that I'm talking to a fan, a wall, and like a really old radio set that's just sitting off stream. But yeah, no, it's it's fantastic. That's the veil that is production. It's very fun. Yeah. But yeah, CRL, for those who have not seen the bracket, this is going to be a tough battle. We were talking about this a little bit before, Monkey Man. Obviously, you mentioned the Rocket League team. They just played out at Chattanooga for the Scenic City Invitational top 3 finish. They fell short 4-1 against Concord, 4-1 against ETSU. We're already in here against Mississippi State. We'll talk about more of that later. We're just jumping right in.
Feels like a squad that definitely went through their paces going into this early morning 9 a.m. Rocket League. Color me surprised that gamers wake up that early. But this is definitely a team that knows how to wake up in big moments. And one of those big players is right here with Bluey. But you're not going to count out Mississippi State. It's not Missouri State. Apparently it just continues to change between the M's. I had called them Montana State when it was a separate conference of play. But either way, Indiana Tech, they finally break out of their back half. And this is a team that likes to be able to apply some pressure.
Yeah, Mississippi State holding it in their own end for now. That's a big clear. Straight into the hands of Velocity, though. He's got a man on the right side. He'll find him. That's a shot from Bluey, and that's a goal from Bluey. It is 1-0 Indiana Tech with 4:09 to go. And that's the start that, well, you need, but obviously early in a qualifier like this, it's good to just maybe get some jitters out.
Delicious coordination and connection there. We saw that a lot over the summer, actually, whenever you're talking about that pre-jump. Just before these guys were actually in the same land center together, it was looking like they were going to fight through ping to make some of these happen. But my goodness, not to count them out. You saw the combination of Velocity and Bluey a moment ago. How about Reshi out here finding not just one, not just two, but how about the third?
Somewhere, someone is saying, well, in English, you'd say Tech, yeah. The saying recently has been Tech weak. 2-0 Indiana Tech with 4:01 to go. And Mississippi State, obviously best of 3. Not a lot of time in a series to respond. Velocity with the ball here. 1 touch there for Mississippi State. And it'll come back the other way. It is taken to the left side. Indiana Tech's going to take this ball back. Velocity is doing something. And just feels like they're freestyle a little bit. They'll pop it up. That is Bluey next in line. He's got the flip. Nothing more. Sent back by the Mississippi State defense.
This is a team that loves the flashy mechanics. That's one thing I absolutely adore about them entirely is because they're going to have fun out on the pitch. And a team that is doing so is one of the most dangerous in all of Rocket League. Anytime that you are able to get these kinds of players just freewheeling, being mechanical, and flashing what they have, especially with this being on the defensive side, you know that they're going to find themselves moving up through this pitch in a hurry. For the first couple of minutes, Brendan 2 goals here from out of Indiana. So Mississippi State, even when they've had some looks, it's been pretty short-handed. They're going to get that pinch, though. Brother Brian, they go and give their teammate a kiss, and it works out.
Hey, there's the response from Mississippi State, and I'm going to be honest with you. That's a look I don't think Indiana Tech has seen at all since this semester has started. That's not one that I don't necessarily think you prepare for. 2-1, about halfway gone. Velocity looking to get the answer right back. No boost in the tank, chips it on. Pookie will send it to the side. That's a strange sentence coming out of my mouth, but we're going to act like I didn't say it, and life goes on. That'll pop right back out in the midfield for Velocity. Gets bumped, he's still on it, gets the low 50, couldn't quite fall on it. On the goal line, Brother Brian will send it out to the side. And Mississippi State will survive for now.
Oh, Okay, big demo. That is actually a very strong component of this Indiana Tech group, is that individually they can be able to kind of stunt and slow down squads, and then they can also just fake it out. Velocity is going to have this one go between three. Where in the world did Mississippi State go? Last one that found it was, in fact, this soft tire touch. That was a Houdini move.
I'm not sure. Apparently, Velocity got credit for that goal, by the way. I didn't see the contact, but that is my Grand Champ 2, maybe even less than that, maybe Champ 2 now eyes, seeing that, and not the actual game itself. Brother Brian back here, we look for the infield set right back. 2 minutes to go. It is Resch to the backboard, maybe looking for another double, this time cut down by Brother Brian. I'm not sure what Velocity's doing there. I'll just keep it in the corner. A demo comes out off the pipe, and Velo comes back the other way. Stressful, but not quite. The Warriors survive for now. That shot just deflected wide by Resch.
It's always Mississippi State that is having to act just as they exit. 2-man go down. That's a big demo. This will not be free, though, as especially they come back on the respawn. But with the latter 100 seconds here, Bub, Indiana Tech does not look like they are too pressed to try and stress their way upfield. In fact, they might be trying to repeat what Brother Brian and the gang were able to find off of that pinch play. But so far, it's bullying. It's a bit of demos, seeing what they can get away with. These early rounds are very forgiving for a squad that is this good. And they're trying to take advantage for all the extra time that they can muster up, especially when not having a whole lot of boost. That's actually a great test for them, but a minute's approaching. This one might be signed, sealed, delivered, especially with a double tap. Oh, that one may get away.
We tried. The press stays on, though. Here's Resch. We've seen a few moments from him this weekend. Off the backboard, the rebound. Deflected aside as we cross the final 60. The Warriors definitely look more confident, albeit different caliber of competition. Mississippi State has something to say about what I just said. It is Brother Brian once again on the board. It is 3-2 with 50 seconds to go.
A boostless challenge by Bluey. He made that turn, but it was also playing for that low 50 because they had a Warrior just nearby. So the Bulldogs out of Mississippi State simply stayed with the ball. And that happened several times out of Brother Brian. Seems to be the main component for success from out of the squad. Fake out by Reshiram. And as long as they play for time here and they just basically bring it to the sky, Indiana Tech should be able to burn through what's left in the tanks of Mississippi State.
That seems to be exactly what you're doing as we cross the final 30. Velo. Maybe one last try towards the net. Yes, sir. 4-2. They've doubled up once more. Velo with 2 goals. And that, you said 3-1 almost certainly does it. This one almost definitely does.
There's still time, but it starts becoming an issue if you can never really cut it to an even game, especially with less than half minutes to go. Indiana Tech, they basically free the beast that is Velocity. Let him off the leash, let him go play. It always seems when I watch this team, I see Velocity and Bluey kind of combating to find that next possession, to see who can be able to find it. Pipeline is unforgiving. That one bounces off. I believe Brother Brian, does he have a hat trick?
That is indeed a hattie for Brother Brian. Yeah, we'll let that one speak for itself. 4-3 with 12 seconds to go. Yeah, I got nothing. 10 seconds left here in game 1, barring. Hold on a moment. It's over his head. That should do it here in game 1. A demo in the back line. One last try by Molly, but it does eventually hit the ground. It is not St. Edward's winning game 1. It is Indiana Tech. Don't be fooled. And that is how the party gets started for the Warriors.
The Hilltoppers taking it.
Yeah, we got Mississippi State and Indiana Tech. Who are you thinking here? Give me St. Edward's. I got the Hilltoppers. No, it's 1-0 Indiana Tech. That was
reaching straight over. So it's like, hey, Noli, come play real quick. Just, right over here. Just chill with us.
Oh no. Hey, he might be there, but let's not start the controversy now. We're just getting started here. 1-0 Warriors. It's game 1 of a big qualifier bracket, but not a bad start. Maybe a little bit too much offense for Mississippi State for my liking, but we'll take a win when we can get it.
Make the stats be disguised, bub. Let Brother Brian have his hattie. Let everyone look at that 4-3 and start to doubt Indiana Tech. They're already slightly doubting when they saw the colleague top 30 got to make the top 8. In case no one knew what the format was, there's 8 pools. The winner of each pool will be making it into the league play of CRL for the first split, and then everyone else has to deal with whatever kind of points fiasco situation has been created. Indiana Tech, I feel like this team has flashes of brilliance, and it's just about the consistency, especially as the squad gains some awesome, overall chemistry now that they're on land together.
Well, speaking of chemistry, there's a little bit there from Mississippi State. They'll get the lead here early on in game number 2. I think a lot of people do. There are some pollsters that have mentioned that this is a very new team. Indiana Tech, they've only been together for about 6 weeks. The college tournament was what? Late June? Mid-June? Something like that? I mean, outside of that, they hadn't really played together since, well, September. So it's a new team. Like you said, the more reps they get together, the better they'll be. And we've almost certainly seen that with, recent wins over Columbia, Ole Miss. This whole weekend at the CBC Invitational, it's been a phenomenal start for the Warriors, and one that I think surprised a lot of people.
It's also a great look considering the experience that these players also bring in. Playing at the SSA RLCS, playing in the EU RLCS, you're getting Bluey, who has had a stellar career from all the way to high school, going now, I think they're into their sophomore year with Indiana Tech. So this is a squad that definitely has high competition as their entire resume. So with the way they're connecting now, they make a fantastic response. This one is just about receiving, putting in the old back pocket, and then slamming it right back upfield. Velocity at the helm of Rusher.
The European connection gets this one knotted up at 1 with 3:25 to go in game 2. Kickoff pretty neutral, but it's going to go right into the hands of Resch with a full tank of boost. This is almost the last guy you want to have that situation. Velocity comes in to clean it up. It's 2-1.
It's been a long time since we've seen the Englishman and the French guy work together this well. But you know what? They're able to put away that rivalry and continue to just dominate right now. As you find a 2-goal swing in favor of the Warriors. Bluey just in the back line going like, cool, all right, keep it up. They go for the possession play. Velocity trying to set up Bluey. He cannot quite pancake it. Bit offline, bit off target, but I like that they're going for the fake kickoffs to try and just switch things up.
You can definitely see the confidence is there now. Resch playing it nice and slow, gets the 50 below. I think it was a fake. We'll call it a fake. There's a demo on the back line, but I think it was a Warrior. Yeah, it was Resch. That was a below. Delayed flip going underneath. It's 50 away. Bluey off the corner. Brother Brian will get his touch. And it goes right to Resch, who again 100 boost. Dangerous man. Musty up over the top. Bluey is there. He'll actually leave it for Velo, but it is cleared out by Mississippi State. The Warriors' offense is maybe becoming a little unbearable here as Resch once more to the backboard. The net is open, but they do recover in time, as Brother Brian would say.
Oh, they were trying to send it back over to Rusher, and he might actually get one extra extension of this offense, but it does eventually get cleared out. I'm going to give it to Mississippi State. Definitely a team that we had kind of looked at and said, all right, this is going to be maybe kind of a washout, should be a fast sort of game. They have definitely had their plethora of chances, and Indiana Tech also is one of those teams that doesn't exactly play clean, and they let some of these sneak through. I think this is Pookie's first kill into the back of the box.
You would be correct. It is 2-2 with 2:03 to go. And, well, we're going to need another. We'll see how long this tie lasts. It's another fake to the left side, Resch. Quick pop. Velocity down to Bluey. The shot bottom left, steered aside by Brother Brian, who has been the name for Mississippi State throughout this series. This will go into the middle. Velocity. Is he going to leave the double? No, he'll actually just go for it, but it's off target. Brother Brian sends this one out, and he'll follow through. Tries for the link dash pop, but Bluey read it well. And the Warriors back the other way once again. Low boost. Resch is actually going to take over. He'll pop it. Bluey looking for the bump, but steered aside again by Brian. And back the other way comes Mississippi State.
Good old BB really being a thorn on the side here of the Warriors. Again, Rusher, he's just trying to be able to kind of solo run this from the ground. And something that the Warriors love to do is play very close quarter with each other. Those rotations are up on their hips, seeing how quickly they can be able to respond. Brother Brian does go flying on by. This becomes a 1v2. Pookie will cut that down. A Minute 8. Do they go and practice some OT, some bonus Rocket League? Bluey's being bounced. He has no boost. I think his teammate just stole the other corner. Now he comes a two-man rush. Brother Brian there to try and disrupt. Mississippi State has been able to keep right in the maw of the Warriors. That one will be saved by Pookie. Wow.
Hey, credit to Mississippi State. No lack of effort here. They are fighting. Resh, flip reset, pop into the middle. Again, someone there. But Bluey's going to keep the attack on. He'll go to the backboard, get a demo.
Nice.
He's looking straight down for Velo. He'll actually leave it. It's off target. Resh in the final 30 fakes it out, but Brian sends it wide. One more try from Bluey. He does get there, but he just gets the bump. Resh on the follow, beat out by Buki, and Mississippi State back the other way here in the final 20. Velo, one touch, that's all. Brian sends it towards Velo, who sends it right back, but it's past everyone and steered aside by Bluey on the recovery.
Good looks, good reads. Will they simply survive the last few seconds? Resh trying to be able to find a redirect in very close quarters. You've got Velocity that's going to set one back up. Two defenders go flying. We hit grass. And a feisty Bulldog group is really forcing Indiana Tech to start to get tested. So overtime here, bub. And if they let one through, Pookie might be able to find themselves in the hero's welcome on the side of Mississippi State.
Velocity just holding on defense here, but this is good for Mississippi State. Brian couldn't get it on target. That might have been the chance. Net's still open here. Molly will just send it towards the middle. The shot is off target, and the rebound's cleared out. Dangerous here for the Warriors, but now Velo back the other way. It's steered aside by Buki. Molly looking to take it out the other way, but it's set back on target, and that will do it. Velo cleans it up, and the Warriors do come away with a 2-0 win.
Few scares by Mississippi State on that Indiana Tech back lines of early pressure into that overtime, and it was starting to look very promising for the Bulldogs. But ultimately, we go to Brother Brian, another hat trick. Oh, no, sorry. They flipped that one around. So a couple of big goals.
I don't think those scores are right. I don't think the Warriors won 7-2. Something's weird.
Yeah, no. Well, maybe a collection of goals.
You know, in our hearts, the Warriors won 7-2.
Yeah.
It's just reading what, you know, we felt. Honestly, Mississippi State, that was a really good effort. I have nothing really else to say other than that. They made the Warriors have to adjust. When you're going up against the 3 seed in your group, you know you're going up against a tall task. That's probably the best you can ask for. So credit to Mississippi State. And, the Warriors are 1 for 1 today in CRL.
Yeah, they're also going to be seeing the winner between, I believe it is Ohio State and UANL. So we'll get to find out who will be moving into that next round. It's still BO3, right? In the quarterfinals, I think? Yep. Okay. So short sprints. And what would you say is, in terms of like kind of series aggregation, what is the better kind of position? Does Indiana Tech like longer series or shorter series? I know that may be easier to say because it's like, oh yeah, we'd love to be able to sweep, but like BO3s and BO5s, they render better results than when you have to go deeper into a BO7 for this team.
I think based on what I've seen so far, the longer the series goes, generally the better, especially if it's their first couple series of the day. That is obviously not the case today. They had a whole, ETSU and Concord gauntlet that they had to run and didn't quite go their way earlier today. One of those teams they don't have to worry about. The other one they won't have to worry about until significantly later. If they get to that point, they got to go through Michigan State to get to Concord. They have to earn that right once again. But probably in this scenario, I would say shorter series are better just because they have had those games. Bluey has talked before about how it takes some time to warm up into a series, generally speaking, but they had their warm up already. That was at 9:30 in the morning. And
oh my goodness! Yeah,
I don't know. I'd be half asleep at the desk. Maybe they were, but in this case, no real issues aside from an overtime, which Bluey is probably laughing about right now because he likes to raise my blood pressure.
It's definitely a team that is very creative about not letting you know how they're going to score. It's going to be the French Connection a lot of the time, but it's also one that they're very clever about how they recover. Defensively, it's chaos. That's how I've watched Bluey for years at this point, through doing community league play and then over into like his high school and now collegiate career. And then Reshiram and Velocity, looks like just those two guys know how to really control time. So this is a fun team so far, and I like that they're finally all together in one spot, being able to make this an even more advantageous position for this program to soar. But also, they got to just simply go into this next round. So if you got your 2-0, you had an overtime. I think they're now settling in.
Yeah, and it looks like that other series has started as of 90 seconds ago. So the best of 3 on the other side that we're waiting for just started. So it's going to be a hot minute before we get a result. On that note, Monkey Man, unless you have anything else, I think we're going to go to a quick break.
Hydrate.
We'll be back. Yeah, make sure you hydrate. Non-sponsored, by the way. If you know, you know. This doesn't go on YouTube. It stays on Twitch. Could be Tab. It's definitely not Tab. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll see you for round 2. And we're back. It took a while to get here, but we're back. It is UANL that we will be playing next. They beat Ohio State Gray 2-0. Looking around the rest of the bracket, we were talking about some interesting matchups. IU lost to UCSB 2-1. So they moved on to play Michigan State on, I believe it was Bats from the Past channel. And Michigan State won 2-0. So waiting for the winner of this series is Michigan State. We've talked about how that would actually be a really fun matchup if we get there. It's the reality is right in front of us. We control our own destiny here, Monkey Man.
Just gotta move through the Universidad Autónoma de Nuevo León. Hopefully I did not upset anyone with my attempt on the accent, but the squad that's actually coming out of the northeastern side of Mexico. So this will be an interesting matchup overall, just to see if we get continued level of mechanical attempt and play from out of the squad here for Indiana Tech. But I feel like something that obviously needs to be cleaned up is just their general approach to defense. They love being tricky. They love being overtly clever with how they recover, mostly to just see if they can always attack from out of the peripheral. Gotta wonder if they can just, maybe source some of that out a little bit more foundationally when they go against this Tigers squad coming up.
Yeah, and Bluey, I did get a message from Bluey going into this saying this is a decent matchup going into it. So here we go, and there is the aforementioned Bluey straight into the sky. Flip reset to the right side, looking for velocity, maybe a double towards the middle, nothing there. Fresh off the sidewall, demo early for the Warriors. How often have we seen that be an integral part of the strategy? Resch with time, space, looks for the dunk and a big stop there on the goal line. Rebound available. Bluey to the backboard, looking for the double. He missed, and it's just wide. Legendary will look to send that one out, but it stays deep for now. And finally, the follow-through comes back the other way.
You can tell the comms are very high up because Resch told Bluey to stay back. He then did a half rotation as velocity kind of kicked up as the next man to go and get that attempt. And unfortunately, there was just too much boost and use on the adjustment for that double attempt. But Indiana Tech throws first blows. They can find a big 50. This will come off the sidewall. Fat miss is found. Maybe a give and go. It will be for Indiana Tech. The Tigers have been under fire from the Warriors off the rip.
Resch is looking to turn here. Low boost, though. He'll just let Legendary take to the skies. Velocity puts a finger up. Doesn't quite make contact. And the backboard challenge is met there by Resch. And that's a shot on an open net. It hits the pipe. The rebound hits the crossbar and goes. And UANL will strike first here in game 1.
I'm looking at the back linesman. You had velocity that he was right there. Did not think that he had someone right off his left side fender because he had made kind of a longer sweep to that back post, and I thought he was going to be able to make first connection. Tough read on a slight angle. Reshiram, let's go right back to the pipeline from whence it came. He's got Bluey in the back line after velocity wants to pancake pass it backwards. But Legendary keeping focus even with low boost on that goal line. So far, they've clinked the bell, but they've not been able to finally get from where it's been rung.
Legendary will look for the clear. Velocity keep the press on. He'll find Bluey. A bunch of bumps come out and it's open. There it goes. And just like that, the Warriors have drawn even.
Kiss on the mouth right here. I think that was Mazo on the other side. He ends up face-to-face with Bluey, and Bluey sent them skyward. All right, so the physicality finally paying off. Just kind of working their way through. I think maybe Indiana Tech might be simplifying how some of these are going because the Tigers have actually kept up with the more complex notions. Fake out. You got velocity right behind Bluey. It is so crazy how much space that those two just work through. It's like an inch between them.
And how much space they can demand as well in the sky. We've seen that with Resch as well. This one finds it into the middle. Velocity looking for the back line, can't find anything. Resh will slow play, draw the challenge out, and then the follow from Velo to Bluey. Keeps it low. The challenge comes out. Everybody on top of the ball like a mosh pit in front. And eventually finds its way open in the middle. Somehow Resh gets a flip. Bluey, the shot is high. Resh looking for the bump. The rebound available, but sent back once again by UANL. Divisa will move it back the other way once more. Bluey from the near pipe. He'll leave it for Resh. Legendary will catch this one. Resh did grab the boost. That'll pop high for Legendary. No boost, so Divisa is up. The follow from Mazo or Mazo. And Velocity actually hung with it, and he will move it right back out.
Making those big jumps to the backboard, and when you're directly responsible for what next shot is forthcoming, you know if you mishandle that it's going to be handed as an opportunity over to your opponent. So great, just overall consistency of just keeping themselves calm, finding the ball, being able to elevate it high, and then this has been kind of the bread and butter so far. These upfield swings, they can't get it beyond the pipeline. Bluey, that's the second time he's come up short from just around the perimeter of the front face of that net. With that flick, Legendary wants to make this one a little bit longer, but Indiana Tech so far, they've only had the one that squeezed through. They're trying to find the next one, maybe get this 2-goal swing.
Use it from his own backboard. You can already see the level of play definitely higher than our last round. Divisa into the corner. There's a shot steered aside by, I believe that was Resh. The rebound will go, though, and UANL. Folks, we have a conversation to have here. It's 2-1.
All right, so Bluey was right here, and they didn't have a lot of boost, thinking that they could get underneath the shot, and if it was going to drop a little bit more slight. And then everyone else for Velo and Reshi, they were running to the opposite corner. So bit of a defensive misrotation a couple times, but definitely the Tigers capitalizing when they can on that back post. Bluey's just going for a flat-out 50. Nothing in the tank. Velocity is going to be the sole man in net. He's going to try and work this one out, but Bluey does find something as he will cross over the backboard. A minute is approaching here, Bub. Indiana Tech's having themselves a test.
And the Warriors are going to have to start finding some answers here soon. A bunch of demos coming out. UANL definitely trying to match the physicality back the other way. Final 60. Legendary. That's not a great touch. That will springboard the Warriors forward, but not a lot of boost. And Divisa back the other way. Resh into his own corner. Bluey, no contact. That'll open up space, though, for Velo, and here we go. Into the air. Plays it low. Bluey with the demo. Resh with space, and that's the end of the sentence. The next picture shows a tie game with 37 seconds to go.
Massive double demo, clears the field, huge smoke screen, and all they can do is deal with being in no man's land and see if they can be able to work past that flick. Indiana Tech, when they need things to work out, get physical, get rid of your opponent. It's so much easier to score on an open net, besides some folks that do it in ranked. But with less than a half minute remaining, Bub, they still haven't had a lead yet. They're trying to earn one. Velocity can't quite get there.
And we've said it so many times, Monkey Man. All of these players, hold that thought for just a moment, Bluey to 50. All of these players, lethal when they have space. Resh is probably the last player on this Indiana Tech roster you want to see have a lot of boost and a lot of space. He got it there, and boy, he did not miss. Bluey looking down for Resh, and now Divisa back the other way. Maybe one last strike. It's still up, and we get overtime here in game one.
An ambitious style of back passing right there by Bluey. I don't know how quickly that was communicated or if they were just going for full fluid instinct, because I think they were trying to get it directly onto the nose of Reshi and just see if he could be able to catch it as quick as that. Velocity and Bluey on the same side as this one will go back into orange territory. You got to watch out. Mazo is there. They're aiming for the setup. Divisa is going to be cross-cutting. Nothing ultra-threatening, but it's not like the Tigers have gone away at all.
And Legendary is going to move this one, actually looking infield. Just results in a clear right into the hands of Bluey, who will pop it, maybe looking for Resh, but Legendary will steer it to the corner. Bluey pops it right back to the middle again. UANL just keeping it out wide for now. Here's a shot on the near post, stopped by Divisa, and he will pop it a little bit further. That one to the left side for Resh. The shot is just wide. And the rebound finds its way back into the middle again. Legendary will look for the clear, and it looks like he'll have it. Maybe not for long as the Warriors come back the other way. It's Velocity on the left side. To the backboard. A demo comes out, and the Warriors take game one.
I want to see who got the demo. Demos have been the name of the game for the Warriors. Be able to swing some of this. You have Reshiram. Yep, there it was. Finding that one back corner post demolition and just letting Velocity have an open look. He had to get the job done. Slammed it home. That was the first and the only lead of the Warriors. Need to be able to take that first game.
Yeah. And again, score definitely wasn't 4-2. I'm not sure what's going on with our scoreboard right now, but it was 3-2 for those who actually saw it. I'm not sure what's going on with that. It was fine last time we used it. This time something's a little weird about it. I'll get a wrench and I'll smack the computer in between series. I won't do that. That's I'm pretty sure I'm damaging school property at that point. I don't want to lose my position.
We call that percussive maintenance, I think.
I like that idea. Yeah. I like it. Percussive maintenance. I gotta write that one down, producer. Write that one down.
Yeah.
He's not listening. He's just looking down right now. No, I mean that's for what is definitely an increased test for the Warriors. They met the level. Now, especially with what we know is ahead, if they do get through UANL, you'd like to see maybe a little bit more from the Warriors in this game here.
I am not surprised that both goals that came out of the Tigers from UANL were onto a back post kind of gap of rotation from out of Indiana Tech. I've said it several times, but the way that they like to rotate kind of into one another, they have very acute and narrow spaces of which they like to work to make it a very immediate response. So when it comes to all this from out of the Tigers, they will take advantage of those moments when it comes about. But the first half minute of play has been very violent so far.
And Resh, oh boy. Yeah. Pause if you've seen this one before. Okay, don't pause that long. It's 1-0 Warriors. Resh with the reset double.
Everyone from UANL hanging out on the goal line. You had one man that was elevating to try and stop him. I think that was in the form of Legendary. The Indiana Tech finds themselves with first goal, and I feel like, you know, if we're going to see them clean things up, they might be able to run up the score just a little bit. That's been something that's been a bit missing. They've been playing all these games so close today through these BO3s. Blue with a hot shot. What a save. What in the world?
What a setup, too, from Velocity. Just deception at its finest. Louis looking for the shot. A huge stop out in front. The test isn't even done. The Warriors are still pressing here. Velo tried to go underneath. He does get the demo on the back line. It's still there. Another demo comes out. Louis just wreaking havoc on the back line. Resh with space. One flip. Uses it, but Mezo meets him high. Velo looking to keep it close. That is met immediately, and Louis with the response, but he does get demoed for his sins of trying to keep UANL in their own end. Resh answers that with a centering play, and they do eventually play it across for Mezo, who finds the clear.
Everyone's all the way back already here for Indiana Tech. That is a dangerous way to live Velocity, and that's exactly why, even when you get it across your box, if someone was waiting on the back door, they can just immediately pooch kick it to find their way through the goal line. That one comes off the wall just enough before Reshiram is able to find Devisa lurking.
3:22 to go, and again, you mentioned it, these best of threes, the margin for error, especially for top teams, it's been a conversation for a very long time that best of threes, it's a lot easier to see upsets than it is in a best of five, and especially in a best of seven. Things do tend to play closer as well. You have less time to adjust. You've seen it, especially here. This is significantly closer for the Warriors than I think anyone who is, well, if you're a UANL fan, you're loving how close this is. If you're a fan of Indiana Tech, maybe sweating bullets a little bit here.
It seemed like, okay, all right, is this team going to be moving to the next round? Will they find their consistency on defense? Because offense is obviously here. The defense, whenever it is basically sequestered to their goal line, starts to be a bit exposed. Demos have really been a crutch and reliance here for the squad, and they've hit the front face of the crossbar and all the pipeline a few extra times, so it feels like they have a multitude of chances. Tigers are keeping up very well to keep the Warriors at least at arm's reach. Bluey wants to find one, kind of goes diving. Reshiram is suddenly on an island. He has the boost. He has to navigate this and does so.
Steer aside for now. Bluey will have one, make it two touches. That'll pop up for Velo. Plenty of boost. near the ceiling. He's got the flip, but he got challenged by Divisa, and the clear comes back. Bluey will pop one, leaving it for Resh. The hand's still up. He's going for the dunk, doesn't quite get it. Mazzo will send it back the other way. Hits around one, the demo comes out. Resh gets demoed as well. And a double commit there on the 50, twice a chance of success. Doesn't go towards the net though, and eventually sent back by UANL. And that's a missed touch there from Resh. Legendary looking down for a teammate. He won't find Mazzo, and Resh will eventually find the clear.
Mazzo went chasing after that. I was wondering if he's going to be able to catch up, but it didn't really matter because the Visa has been able to divide and conquer a couple of these separate segments. Well, we're at 80 seconds approaching here, Bub. Velocity in the gang. It's been much more difficult to get through some of these awesome Mexican ballers. This is the kind of style and attitude that you get from out of some of this awesome collegiate just flair. And so for Indiana Tech, what are they able to do? See if they can just control the pace, take away possession. It's been Tigers that can score in a moment's notice.
Oh, that
That's going to be a takeaway. Less than a minute. Things are getting dicey.
You know, I feel like we knew, I think you knew the script, because you were setting that up for a hot minute there. And, well, it's 2-1 for UANL with 57 seconds left. And we said this at this point in the last game, too. If the Warriors are going to have a response, it needs to be now. Bluey with a good fake, pops to the middle, no one home. And Velocity up the left corner will drop it down, looking towards the middle. Gets a beautiful cut, but no one's there again. Just no follow-through right now. Bluey looking left for Velo. The net's open, and we're tied.
Fantastic work. They find one underneath. They're hoping to keep this one a little bit lower, force the Tigers to have to go straight into their wheelhouse. Legendary was up on the face of the backboard, and as he dove down, he wasn't able to get a solid piece behind the ball. 2-2. Remember, Indiana Tech took the last one 3-2. Regardless of what that scoreboard's been looking like, they got that dub when it mattered the most. Rushy and the gang, they just got to stay focused. They cannot let the Tigers have one of these sudden sprints.
Oh, Resh looking infield for Velo. He gets dunked, though. And Mazzo will pop that one into the middle. Legendary pops it to the backboard. Divisa. I think Resh thought he heard someone jump. This will wrap its way around. Final 10 before we see what has been a familiar sight. Legendary. That shot will go. And it's 3-2 with 5 seconds on the clock. And what heroics do the Warriors have left?
That one solid challenge. As soon as I saw them rotating up, they had someone that was free, and there was just a wide open gap. I don't think that we had anything to the backboard, so that one became just too available for UANL. And so they decided to go for it. Bluey is not going to be able to find this one unless he just tugs it backwards. He pops it high. Reshiram has velocity, but he's also going to have 2 Tigers in the way. The other team in UANL, they will force us to have to go to game number 3. I want to see if these stats line up. This time around they do.
Hey,
so
it worked.
Does your scoreboard only work on losses? What's happening? What?
I'm not sure, but I'm starting to not be a big fan of the scoreboard if it's only going to show right stats when we lose. I think the percussive maintenance, I might have to... Might actually have to take you up on that offer. That feels like that might be the correct answer at this point.
When it's something that's supposed to be positive, it's percussive maintenance. With the demos that were happening out there, that's concussive maintenance.
I knew you were going that way. I could feel the setup coming, and I still wasn't ready for the. I'm out of words. I got nothing. I have no response. It's official.
What do you feel like, big player as you are, you've seen what is kind of being exposed right now for Indiana Tech. It feels like these brief moments of offense, Tigers just kind of outlast them on their goal line. What's any big changes from your optics?
I think it's just defensive stability, to be honest with you. I think if the Warriors can find a way to hold their own in their end, they can beat pretty much anyone. As you mentioned, the offense is there. Maybe not as often as we would like, but it is there, and it does shine through. We've already seen Resh have his moments. We've seen both Velo and Bluey have their moments as well. But it's really just the goal. It's the defensive operation for the Warriors right now. Here's an opportunity for Resh looking for a double, but steered aside. If they can clean it up in their own end, I think this is a very different conversation we're having right now.
It's definitely an overwhelm by quantity. The quality is very there. Like you spoke it in, you were able to talk about it, and we got to give a lot of love over to the Tigers. They have not bat an eye at some of these, but they just have some of these glaring gaps that are appearing here for the Warriors that only happens when you squeeze down some of that space that UANL has been able to do. Sidewall in, Reshiram has to navigate past Mazo. Fantastic look to slow down this ball. Oh, that's going to be a pinch backwards, but Bluey will be in position.
Sent back by Visa. This has popped up. Resh thought about it for a moment, but defers to someone else. That someone else's velocity. So finds way in the middle. Bluey off the pipe. Resh with no boost in the tank. Can't quite follow. Now he'll turn. He is going to chase this one down. Doesn't quite find the bump, and this will find its way back for the Tigers. Velocity off his own corner. No boost left in the tank. Blue recalls his own number. Looking for a play in the middle. Fakes out for Legendary. He could. I think he got a piece, actually, and this one will pop high. That's actually awkward for UANL. An opportunity for the Warriors, but they're just waiting. Bluey will hold possession in his own end. Goes high off the ball. Left there for Velo. The shot deflected away. And I think we've reset now.
This has definitely been a much sweatier possession-based game. You're seeing Indiana Tech basically win in positioning upfield. This is going to be a nice cut. A fantastic defensive effort by Bluey as he takes that shot away. That was looking very scary for the Warriors as they try to just be entrenched defensively. Soft pop Bluey's going to flounder out as the Visa will come right back down. Legendary on the pre-flip. He's actually caught out. That's an easy one. Oh, goodness. Legendary has been so consistent. This one kind of catches him off guard.
And you know what? For the Warriors, with how close this series has been, we'll take it. We will absolutely take it. 2:08 to go, a 1-goal lead. They spotted it immediately. And now the question is can the Warriors hold on?
That was a tough draw right there by Legendary, who has been able to really secure things for his team. Being pressured, I think that was Mazo from the backboard. So things still working out here for the Warriors. You're going to start seeing some desperation approach and encroach by the Tigers as they want to get Indiana Tech to sweat onto that goal line. This is actually a fantastic just reminder that Indiana Tech has to go into some big competition if they make it to the next round. Both these teams will have to, as Michigan State will just be around the corner. And what a way to prepare for it by playing some of this very attitude-driven ball.
Oh, Michigan State. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah.
Well, we were talking about Michigan State. They're probably loving this.
Look at that 50. Like, right off his face. You know what? Just like taking the other one, same thing, UANL will take that. So, Indiana Tech, if you're cheering for the Warriors, you're here on this channel, and you're looking for them to be able to pass this test, they're going to need you to get loud. 1:15 here, Bub, and everything's going to be cleaned up.
Yeah. This is, you know, I wish I had a heart rate monitor. Resh actually looking to make it 2-1. The rebound by Velocity steered aside. It's still there. Mazo will leave it for Legendary. Again, though, I feel like I do need a heart rate monitor for winning these streams at some point in time, because these guys do this to me all the time. Except this time, I'm not going to lie, Monkey Man, I'm scared.
Don't worry, everyone. There are EMTs on site. Bub is not going to die. He's okay for the moment. As long as the Warriors stay cool. They're fundamentally trying to just reassert a presence here defensively. Mazo has a free net, but they close in. The respawns come through. There's not a lot of boost for the Warriors. You're finding very little for UANL as they're trying to do the same things. They would love to steal away game number 3. Not a lot of OT. Big pass, but no one there.
Rush in the corner, another demo comes out in the backfield. The Warriors on a power play here. Played in the middle for Velo, but the deflection just a little bit too wide. And are we going to have 3 overtimes? That one dropped down. Bluey the shot. The rebound goes! It's 2-1 with 1 second on the clock.
Oh, man, when they need him the most, Bluey's there. He finds the first, and he keeps tumbling. He was able to see everything in the future in that moment. He knew he just needed to keep pushing through, and eventually this labyrinth has been solved. With 1 second, that touches down, and Indiana Tech will take that next step into the semifinals.
It was anything but comfortable. Anything. It took. It might as well have been overtime, given that situation. I don't know. I mean, all the credit in the world. You said it. All the love in the world to the Tigers. They made that a very tough test for the Warriors to get through them. But we got a tougher one coming in just a moment. It's Michigan State. These are two top 16 teams, top 20 teams in the nation, depending on which poll you're looking at. It's going to be a good one up next.
This is actually, if you believe in the colleague top 30 poll, Indiana Tech and Michigan State are right near one another at 13 and 15. So this will be really neat to see how it goes. If there's anything that should be learned from this series, especially going to game number 3, a lot of preparation going into Michigan State, who I believe is going to try and be just as offensively minded. Having to get through the fancy footwork of this squad out of UANL might have been a great primer of how to navigate such narrow spaces and seeing if your offense can still work. So I feel like Indiana Tech, great warm up going into the semi.
Yeah, absolutely. You look around the rest of the bracket on the other half, it is Concord and Conestoga. Everything else in this pool is going exactly the way it looks like it was supposed to. If the Warriors want their rematch against Concord, if they want their get back, it's time to put it up against Michigan State. Yep. But we'll see in just a moment how that result comes out. Don't go far because Michigan State's waiting. We'll see you back in just a moment. Warriors and Spartans up next.
Wasn't never enough to have just everything you want. In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me home. And I want something I can hold that's worth this waiting cold. And I want something that is real, something to make me feel alive.
Straight up in it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
We're in. I mean, I stepped away for 2 seconds and I look back and it says Michigan State's up 1-0, but the Warriors actually are. Don't believe what the eyes may see aside from the fact that Bluey just scored from velocity. That is true.
Yes. Yeah. This is actually kind of heinous. Why is Michigan? Well, I guess they're the upper team, so that's why they get orange because of the assignment from the thing. It's 1-1 regardless of who you're looking at. But still, like, I feel like green should be on the blue side and orange should be on the orange side. Like, what the heck? Come on.
Rocket League does not care about team colors, apparently. They're going to put the orange team on the blue side and green team on the orange side. But it's 1-1, like you said. Velocity. They're going to make it 2-1. First best of 5, by the way, Monkey Man. The Warriors are up 2-1. Where did this come from?
I'm telling you, we were in the green room. I was talking, and we were seeing it all throughout. If you have to play into small ball, if you have to deal with a very stingy defense, suddenly the offense feels like it's come out of the pressure cooker, out of the hyperbolic time chamber, and it will pop off. But there's also 3 goals spread between the first 25 seconds between both of these teams. So the defense still has to exist. I needed that identity to come about here from the Warriors.
Morvu will look for a play there, sent back by Bluey. Drewy, the former St. Edward's Hilltopper. We were talking about St. Edward's earlier. I don't think their name's actually in the lobby this time. Drewy might actually have some flashbacks. Velo looking for a shot. Steered aside out in front, but Michigan State much upgraded with that addition of Drewy. And, well, they've seen it with their own land they were at up in Midland, Michigan. I believe, if memory serves correct, they also won that land up there. They have also been playing very well as of late. Upbomb with control, the second-year player. Morvu with the clear. Michigan State back the other way. Really off the sidewall. Sent back by Velo. And this looks a little bit more familiar, Monkey Man. This feels like the Warriors maybe a little bit more comfortable than what they did in the last series.
A completely different identity. Both these teams vie for those 1-2 connections off of offense, whereas so much and then the defense kind of lengthens its way out. So I feel like this is a very similar standard between both of these squads. They know how to play against themselves. They've done that very well, especially in the collegiate space. Indiana Tech had to go through probably the greatest scare of their early bracket with UANL, and I'm glad that they got it just a round to go. That was a great learning position. Now they're being bled out. Don't have a lot of boost. Velocity just literally trying to jump with whatever his pumped up kicks are able to get and find. Nice ceiling reset. He extends a little bit too far, but Bluey getting creative with how he moves up this pitch.
Rush just with the delay for now. Bluey will throw a hand up on Morvu. Velo with 1 touch, make it 2. He gets around the other. He might have a flip too, but Drewy puts a hand up. That's a double commit from the Warriors, but Resch has the open net. It's 3-1.
This is a completely different identity, and I'm loving to see the way that they're connecting right now. They were literally locked and loaded in that previous series, but they were denied and denied and denied into very close ventures. That kind of connection right there is what makes this Warriors group so scary. Now, we got to keep ourselves tended here, because this is also a game 1 where Michigan State is walking in just a little bit colder.
Yeah, Resch to Velocity. He's over another! And now Bluey up high. Upbomb is there. Look to move it further. Looking for the bump. He does get it. Morvu, what does he have in the bag of tricks? Only to the backboard. He'll go, and Bluey will send the response back the other way. But you're absolutely right. You mentioned on the colleague poll, these two teams very, very close to one another. They have played each other in scrims, from what I've heard, very close to one another as well. There is no lack of familiarity between these two teams, aside from an official game. So this is the first time that we've seen one of those, but they know each other very well. Upbomb and Morvu have teamed together. This is their second year. Bluey has played against them in the past year as well. These guys know each other well.
Trying to use that familiarity to really be the difference maker if they can so help it. Bluey was floating for a little bit longer, and Upbomb will drop an explosive stick of dynamite just at 102 seconds ago. There was Velocity that was trying to get that takeaway. Bluey went kind of more directly upwards, hoping he would take away the skybound segment, but that was just a shot on target. So Michigan State will cut it to just 1. But these teams came out firing.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful read from Velocity, but no one can follow. Upbomb will send it back. Resch flip reset. The follow from Velo. Drewy to the side for Morvu. Gets up over the top of Resch. Bluey is there. He's in a little bit of danger, but he actually handles it really well and keeps going.
It's in a fluid state right now, hoping to just force this one from around the corner, and they're also welcoming anyone that wants to challenge them. Morvu does not have anyone, as he had one teammate go on by an Upbomb after Drewy kind of made that pass, unable to do so. That goes front face and down, so Bardowski's an out. Drewy looking for another pass as Velocity and Bluey go to the same spot. Morver's going to have a better look at it, an open touch. Bluey has to rotate twice onto the same near side post, and this is still skybound right in front of Indiana Tech territory. So the Warriors are not out of the woods as of yet, especially with them getting demoed. Velocity wants to move this into the corner, and that will give them extra time before we approach the last half minute.
Yeah, the beginning of this game definitely felt like it was what the Warriors wanted. This end of the game has felt like it's more what the Spartans want. Drewy with the pressure. The follow from Morvu denied by Resh. With that, 50 goes right back central. Resh will pop it. Bluey is chasing the Drewy. Bluey went up, now Morvu on the follow. Demo happens away from the play. It will drop on the near post. Velo, no boost. Another demo. I think that was a Michigan State player gone, though. And the final 10 ticks down. Morvu maybe looking left. He'll go for the demo. Up on the shot, steered aside. The rebound from Drewy looking for the double. He missed! And the Warriors survive game one.
Going up early, 3-1, and just like you mentioned, I think the last two and a half minutes of this game was definitely Michigan State playing a battle of attrition, seeing if they get everyone to buy both goals coming out of Op-Bomb's territory. And the amount of shots, I mean, you actually had early segment, I think it was like 11 shots to just the 8 from out of Michigan State, but I think the majority of that probably came in that latter half of the game. So, scary, Terry. Do you have that coldness, now broken off of the Spartans? I would be very wary if I am the Warriors going to the starting point of game number 2 for the Spartans to try and continue what they had late term in that game.
Yeah, and remember, it's best of 5, totally different. You have an extra game to adjust now. Michigan State, obviously, they changed the way they were approaching the game halfway through. We'll see what the Warriors are able to change going into game number 2 here as we are underway. A demo immediately. That has not changed. That has been, I think, the one constant. Not even through just this bracket, but throughout the Warriors' entire season. There have been a lot of demos coming out from the Warriors. Resh with the press here. In the infield, the Drewy was right there on the front post to send it back.
They want to ego challenge pretty much everyone. That's how this team plays. They play collectively to try and just respond off of a moment's notice and off directly from the nose of their teammate. I mean, look at the way that Bluey kind of dictates how he moves up and down this pitch. It's very mechanical. He's very just cheeky about how he wants to isolate some of these 1v1s. And then if they're not going to outright get you off of ball play, they're going to try and do so from off of just physical. Now, there's very little boost here for the side of Indiana Tech. Velocity will find at least one, but Op-Bomb is set to try and get more of this offense going. The first minute comes and goes with no one on the board, which is way different when we had 3 goals in the first 25 last game.
Yeah, Louis does get a hand up there on Morvu after the bump. Good recovery. Op-Bomb keeping the pressure on. Resh deflects that one away. Now Drewy back the other way from Michigan State. Bluey, the 50 out in front. It was just too far to the side for Morvu, who looks to drop it down for Op-Bomb. That shot is deflected wide that time, I think, by Resh. And Drewy is just forced to delay. He doesn't make contact, and now Velocity back the other way. The Warriors on the counter. The 50 on the near pipe. Pops high, and here is Resh with boost and time. We've seen this before, but this time denied by Drewy.
Drewy is the absolute foundation of this team right now. And this is a squad of Michigan State that is reliant upon Drewy. Look at the creativity that we're seeing in real time by him. He is at nearly every single connection. Op-Bomb had those 2 goals in the previous game, but I feel like Drewy is the weapon in their back pocket that Indiana Tech keeps an eye on. Oh, that's going to make it through. So Op-Bomb will find this one. You're seeing a kind of a weird no-touch there by Bluey as Velocity pushed in from the corner. There was no one to even sweep, and actually, Bluey was just trying to respond to the gap left behind.
Well, that's the continuation of the momentum we saw for Michigan State in game 1. Now to the left side, it is Bluey off the kickoff. He will take to the skies. He's got Resh to the right side. Does go that way. Resh does follow, but it's not quite the play I think he wanted nor anticipated. And that allows Michigan State to come back. And look, the physicality ramping up as they counter. Resh with the save, and the other way we go, at least for a moment. Indiana Tech trying to find their way out. Bluey with 1 touch. Morvu keeping it in. And that's a beautiful pinch back the other way. Op-Bomb. It's awkward in front of the net. Where is Indiana Tech? There's Resh. The rebound. Bluey. He'll go high. Michigan State will send it back in Resh with 1 and make it 2 touches to slow this one down for a moment.
They were it was so sudden that ended up onto the backboard of Michigan State, and there was so much respect for by Indiana Tech for Michigan State's defense that no one thought that was going to suddenly just be available or even something that needed to be challenged. They thought, okay, Spartans are going to move out, so they give it a moment of pause, and everyone just kind of signing at each other like, what in the world are we actually doing here? Blue being challenged from the front face of the crossbar. That's going to be a kickback, and he does find a clear and out bomb. Be the first set to receive it. It's been that 1-2 combination so far between him and Drewy to try and extend this pitch, and then they find each other going against Warriors hand over fist. 90 seconds is coming up here, bub. And all that offense that we had in that previous game is now just a single goal here in game 2.
Yeah, this has just felt like Michigan State's game. Physical, grindy. They slow the Warriors down. We're not getting a whole lot of possession here, and if anyone knows about Opbomb's history, this feels like his identity meshed into not one, not two, but 3 players. Oh, and by the way, like you mentioned, they have Drewy as well, who can absolutely take over a game at a moment's notice. Speaking of, there's the shot from him, steered aside. Michigan State, they're getting everything they want, except for the goals. They have not scored more than the 1. But we're starting to question if maybe that's all they need. Morvu will just delay the threat for now. Bluey is there, but cleared aside again by Michigan State.
Your takeaways, there was basically no boost on the half of the Warriors throughout the entirety of that 42nd or so defense. Having to play it against Michigan State. Michigan State is just going to bleed this one dry. Feeling like this is Big Ten ball, the way they're just keeping this one out of the hands and in possession. They eventually drop another one, Morvu. That will put it up to 2-0, and the Warriors find themselves in the cycle of suffering here with less than a half minute.
They're going to have to find a way either into some space or find a response to the physical, grindy nature that is this adjustment that we said we were going to see from Michigan State. This is, I mean, we saw it halfway through game 1. We are definitely seeing an identity shift in game 2. The Warriors they're going to have to find a response. This looks like it could be one, and Drewy, it's back in time. The Warriors keep the press on for now, but with 10 seconds on the clock, it's almost certainly over. We will see a game 4, Monkey Man.
Might most readily be assured, and mathematically it will be 2-0 here in game number 2. Maybe an extra one for the road. Reshiram has already left in this lobby. He wants to get a different car, feel a different way. Michigan State, a good bounce back after that first game. This is a team that knows and lives by that defense wins championships. When I look at Rocket League, I often say, that's not true. But this time around, it did in fact show up, and they completely frustrated, I think, the midfield against the Warriors the most often. They just didn't let them have anything cleanly, and all those possessions had a Spartan right in their face.
Yeah, I mean, I make this joke a lot. I was a coach at one point. I'm not anymore because my brain functions at the level of Champ 2, and these guys are like 2,200. They're a little better than me. I don't know if the answer is to speed things up. I don't know if the answer is to go for a solo play. I don't know if the answer is to be physical back. But Michigan State, I did notice a lot of stolen boost and a lot of time spent by the Warriors with 0 in the tank. How the response, what the response exactly is going to look like, that's up for these 3 on the pitch to figure out. And it's not happening here.
No, Drewy end to end. What in the world? From this back corner, Louis couldn't find really that velocity, waiting for one last touch, and that's what Drewy just had to wait on. He's just like, all right, you're the defender on the ground. You're not combating me in the sky. I've got a flip reset. Let me tap this. To your question, or to your presence of it, I feel like there is definitely a speed differential that's being dictated by Michigan State. It feels like this is an ultra crawl, but even when it is, they suddenly speed up, and then all of the Warriors are getting whiplash.
Yeah. Yeah, and the possession game definitely hasn't favored them either. And again, you see Resh just trying to push up with anything. He's got no boost. That's a good 50 in the middle. But again, the man on the other side of the field, nothing in the tank. Now Blue is just forced to delay and keep things in. Resh and Velo both commit. I think it was just for the 50. And Drury will find the clear. This time, Bluey does have space. He'll pop it. He'll look for Resh, who's going off the sidewall, maybe looking for some deception to the backdoor. He'll keep it going and sent back by Outbomb, who finds Morvu. Velocity meets the 50. And that one will find its way in front. Velocity off the challenge. Will get 50 once more. That's a good drop pass for Resch, and there's the tying goal.
It took 3 extra touches to be able to rotate this one around, and a very ambitious one that was attempted by Michigan State to try and rotate it from that corner, but they found the front face of velocity. So that extra bit of serendipity gives them one last bouncer, and Indiana Tech will finally get through what has been kind of a drought to this point. It was, 2-0 in that previous game. That's a long time, especially when they had 3-1 in game number 1. And now most recent goals were all Michigan for about, 7 minutes of time from the end of game 1 through all of game 2. Now they know what it's like to score again. Going for a bump. That one most assuredly is going in. Reshiram will make sure, and so they get this lead.
I would say exhale, but look at the time left in the clock.
There's a lot of time.
There's too much of it. There's too much.
5-minute breathing contest.
Yeah. Deep breath. We're in for a wild ride the rest of the way. It's 2-1 Warriors, and like you said, the drought has ended, and the Warriors maybe remembering what it feels like to score on Michigan State, as now they're threatening for a third. Can't quite find the net this time, and Morvu will look for an answer. He's deflected aside there. The shot in front, and we're tied.
Air ball right in front of the net is not where you want to go. This was going to be a tough one regardless of how it happened. And Reshiram went up to challenge Morvu, and he mostly wanted that to see if they could get some kind of rebound from off of either the corner or the backboard. Both ended up working out. So Michigan State given a free look, and they slammed down the gavel. Where things have found success right now for Indiana Tech, the physical game. Finally, when they have some boost, they can be able to really make things difficult to read if you're a Spartan. But now you've seen the same thing coming out of Michigan State as they're trying to get into that back line. That's a wide open net until they slapped them in the head.
It's a good demo to delay things for Michigan State, and now they've got their own response. Here comes up bomb, denied by Bluey on the rotation back. And now Resch underneath Drewy, but Drewy wins the challenge and gets a good one on Bluey as well. Here's a challenge from Morvu, handled well by Velocity. The rebound by Outbomb, deflected away by Resch and cleared. Bluey will chase after this one, low boost. That will just force the contest from Drewy and Velocity as well. Here's a shot, stopped by Resch. The bump was a little late. And one more try for Michigan State. That's sent away now, at least for a moment, from Resch. Here's another shot, the net's open.
That was just as Bluey hit all 4 wheels on the ground. Bluey went up for the same one as Reshiram, and then he was unavailable to have much going on. I don't know who was supposed to be able to find it. They both came in from left and right sides. And so off that double commit, finding that gap briefly open, Michigan State now has found 2 goals in a row in answer. Off bomb, no connection. They challenged late just as Drewy put it onto his fender. So we got 2 minutes approaching. This one looking a lot better into game number 1 style status, not a war of attrition. Oh, Reshiram, can he double Dutch dunk it? He cannot do so. You have 2 defenders. They're waiting for the redirect, but that one's sniffed out.
Michigan State saw it this time, but here's Resch again. He's a little too far away from his car for him to do anything dangerous with. And Michigan State, I mean, again, the Warriors, when they do have boost, they are lethal, but it's when they do have boost. And we're seeing a lot of time where it's moments like this, where Michigan State's slowing it down, making it awkward. That's a shot denied there. Velocity will throw it back in. That'll be deflected away again. But it's when we're low that Michigan State is really, playing what they want in this series. And it's working out for them for now. Here's Bluey in the infield. Out bomb to save. Rebound there for Resch. Into the corner we go. It's pinched back out. Bluey will try and do it himself. How much does he have? Underneath it, Bluey ties it!
I was wondering if he'd have enough. Of course, a flip reset is always in the back pocket of Bluey. Able to get that spiral spin, keeps it late, and then uses it just as he got past Morvu. Fantastic finesse from out of the sophomore. Indiana Tech needed that. That's inspirational. That's a spark of life.
And now Morvu back the other way. That was a breath of fresh air for the Warriors, but Michigan State looking to suck the life right back out. Drewy back the other way. A bunch of demos come out. Even more bumps, but oh no! Oh boy.
It's tough to be able to do this. Reshiram got bumped just as he was going by. Bluey, there's nothing more he can really do except kind of be nearby, hoping he can squeeze that one away. And that post was unforgiving, and so was the rebound. So it will be the Michigan State Spartans find themselves right back in the driver's seat. They would love to be able to take another game in a row and force themselves over to a match point, have themselves a date, most assuredly, with Concord. Oh, but this is a free one. Velocity with the drop in, but he can't get in the bucket.
Michigan State still looking to seal this one. That's a good pass right to Velo. Fakes the shot, but it's not on target. Resh gets demoed. It's still available. One last pressure for the Warriors, maybe, but it gets sent all the way back. And even more boost stolen by Opbomb. Resh will find a clear, but it's straight into the hands of Morbu, who's just delaying. And Velo sends it back. One last gasp for the Warriors here in this game. Not going to happen. Match point.
It will require 5. And you know what? Collegiate Rocket League, it always goes that distance. We're going to see how that all kind of pans out here for Indiana Tech. You see them immediately leaving the lobby. There's a discomfort that's coming up with Michigan State. That first game, I was telling you, I was like, all right, is Michigan State simply cold, having to wait it out, see the game 3? What can they kind of replicate like UANL did on into Indiana Tech to force them to have to go that distance? They have bled that Warrior group dry. Anytime they need a boost, got nothing. There's some mechanical moments. It took 7 goals between them. I've got to wonder if you're going to see Indiana Tech with a fast sprint to start off game 4.
I'm really starting to wonder maybe if it's time to just simplify, go for a big clear in moments like that. Try and, force Michigan State to move that back line further back, because when they are on offense and they're taking all that boost, you have to keep your third up to support the other guy. If you can find those big clears, if you can find space, maybe you give yourself an opportunity, maybe not to score, but to just breathe. Fresh 5 on the clock. The Warriors cannot afford to lose again, otherwise they face the gauntlet that is the lower bracket. And Velocity looking for an early answer. Drewy with the save right away.
I wouldn't dislike playing even the most minor amount of boomer ball just to force Michigan State to have to kind of sprint backwards, find them in kind of a retroactive position at least, and get more awkward moments like this to come about between Opbomb and Drewy. Just go skyward, send it high, see if you can be able to find the Spartans kind of reeling a little bit, because the way that this team, the Warriors, love to play is much more calculated. Well, calculated is I think too strong of a word. A lot more into possession and mechanics, and once that is lost, if you disrupt that flow, it is so hard to recover.
Resh will look to make some space here. Flip reset, gets up over the top of one, but it's not quite enough. Sent back the other way again by Michigan State. We are seeing the ball move around a lot faster. The demo in the back line, though, this will provide an advantage for Michigan State. Bluey will keep this one out in the corner. And awkward in front. Michigan State not really able to do much with it. And now Resh just trying to move the ball anywhere, not here. He does do exactly that. He'll go to the backboard. 2 for Michigan State commit. Drewy does recover. And now more bumps from Opbomb. A flip from Drewy, denied by Velocity. Resh up the right wall. What's he got in store? He's just going to go it himself. And it's denied there by Morbu. Michigan State back the other way. Everyone's going for bumps. All 3. For Michigan State committing on one play, and I think they're starting to go all in on this physicality.
Triangle formation. It's the triangles is the strongest shape in the entire world, and they were immediately trying to make it a tip of the spear. Reshiram is going 1 versus 3. Can he do it? He's dancing over the top that goes to the top corner. Now Morbu is another counterplay. As we go to Skyball right now here, Bub, Indiana Tech is welcoming those kind of chances because they've actually played so well when this one has been minimized away from the ground and getting some actual boost. Michigan State having to chase is a different kind of combatant. Reshiram will have to chase from that back line. He will actually now be coming up. Velocity is in the wing. He's getting bullied from outside. 240, right around that midline mark. Oh, no. What a challenge. Velocity has it stolen off his nose by Opbomb.
Right when things started to look like they were going well, it's just a challenge from Opbomb. Yikes. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. If they're going to respond, it has to be fast. Just for their own mental, I feel like it's got to be quick.
with the way that this has been haymaker for haymaker, I believe that we'll be seeing something soon. You have Bluey. Oh, they couldn't read the bounce. They're going to try and tip this one all over the archway. But eventually do have one of their teammates go down. Velocity, a fantastic challenge. That one again off the pipes. What in the world? This defense, it just evaporates and then appears all at once.
Bomb looking for the clear. Resh into the corner for Bluey. It's a big clear. Morvu. And now Resh looking left side for Velo. Back to Resh. He missed. Oh, the net's open. The Warriors just can't find it.
Sometimes the most open net is the scariest one. Just unable to get directly between the old ironworks. Oh, that's a dead giveaway. That's Drewy that does get 50-50 with Reshiram. 1:40 to go. Opportunities have manifested for Michigan State. And same for Indiana Tech. Both teams throwing their biggest fists at one another's. But you're going to see if they'll be able to just stand the test of time. Reshiram, that's a find. That'll be a 50. That's going to be off the front face. They somehow do not get dunked on. Indiana Tech doing a lot with very little.
Oh, okay. Resh is back. Oh, it's just going to be a clear straight back. And more demos come out. It's just Opbomb doing what Opbomb does. Drewy to the side. He's been enabled well. 20 boost in the tank. He's not really going to be able to do much here other than just slow things down. Resh is there, gets a good 50, but again, look how far up Michigan State is positioning. There's just been no answer for the Warriors. No big clear, no big follow. It's got to come soon. It has to. Otherwise, the Warriors are going to be staring through the gauntlet. We talked about lower bracket. It's a spooky place down there. Anything can happen, especially as you saw against UANL previously.
They're letting one man disrespect upwards into that defensive rotation. And Michigan State can make it much longer runs up and down this pitch. A demo comes through. That'll be some super sidewall. Velocity is going to try and make that grab. He does so. Anything but over. A great pickup by Opbomb. He will challenge out. Velocity, hoping to set it up for Reshiram. They have Bluey in the wing. If you can be able to pick up underneath this one, they might have a chance. Velocity, a 50 finder. That's Bluey and Reshiram. They have no boost. Seconds remaining. Can Reshiram be able to get around this one? He moves to the wall. He will not find it. Morvu, Bluey, Velocity. That touches grass. And so does Michigan State, as they will be moving over into the winners final. And opposite of that, we're going to see the Indiana Tech Warriors. They will be moving down to the lower bracket to figure out what in the world is going to be happening down there.
Yeah, I'm looking to see who is up next. It's a little bit of a wait. The Indiana Hoosiers are in lower round 5, waiting for the winner of Drexel and Ohio State Gray. The winner of that series will play us, so we've got a little bit to wait, but some soul searching, I think, for the Warriors at this point. We saw it not look too great, admittedly, at Chattanooga today, and that was well played by Michigan State. I will say that. They completely shut down the Warriors' offense to the point where it felt like the Warriors couldn't even, move around the pitch effectively. But I mean, it's time to find some answers if the Warriors want to have any kind of a shot to get through this pool.
Well, biggest thing about the game is you got to play the game. So it's never just what it is on paper going up into some of these big matches. And obviously, there's a high flying offense that comes out of Indiana Tech. Feels like the Warriors are able to do big things. It's coming down to how focused in was Drewy and Opbomb. Both those guys hyper vigilant about getting some of those demos. They swept the midline, and it didn't matter how mechanical and how flashy some of this stuff came out of Indiana Tech. They just stayed focused fundamentally, and they just kept them packing over and over again. So this will be a moment of reprieve, I think, for the Warriors, much necessary. Stand up from the computer, chill, relax, shake it out, maybe eat a little bit of that Panera that they were able to just get a moment before. Get some extra energy back in the body and get right back on the sticks.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, a good chance here to relax. I see someone asking in the chat, what game is it? Well, the Warriors just dropped to Michigan State 3-1 in the winners semifinals, so they will be dropping into the lower quarterfinals. So it's still best of 5s from here on out for the Warriors. We're not going to best of 3s, so that does favor the Warriors. It's an extra game to adjust, as we talked about. Upsets more likely the shorter the series length is, but definitely some adjustments to be made, some answers need to be found for sure. And you know, sometimes sometimes maybe it's just best to look ahead and go, rough series, go next. And maybe that's the mental too. You never know. I mean, we'll find out as time goes on. Michigan State, they will play Concord. Concord did 3-0 Conestoga. I don't think that's really a big surprise to anyone. Concord won fall 2024. They were top 3 in spring 2025. Concord is one of the best schools in the nation at this point in time. The Warriors still have some proving grounds that they need to walk through to be able to say that they're at that level. But for now, we're waiting. We'll see if it's IU, Ohio State, or Drexel. We're not sure yet. Don't go far. We'll be back in just a moment.
They say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move.
And we are back. There's Monkey Man. That took a second. I've been waiting in suspense. I was back. Was Monkey Man back? Well, yes. And we are so back. It's not IU versus I was going to say IU versus IU. We're not IU. That's like Cardinal Sin. I got to boot myself off the stream now. It's Indiana Tech versus Drexel, actually. And we are already underway. Monkey Man, we were talking about some upsets away from the broadcast as Resh is already doing Resh things. How about that to start?
This is exactly what this team needs to be able to get back into. Finding an offensive dominance position and being able to get shots like this. It's been sweaty when it comes up to the sweatiest. And like you mentioned, there has been a lot of movement between some of the upper squads over some teams in these other pools. I think you were talking about Oklahoma Christian was able to find their way through. So in the same capacity, Indiana Tech just needs to be able to find ways that they can open things up. I really hope that break from the last couple of series allows them to get right back up to speed, and it looks like they did so.
Yeah. Oklahoma Christian, by the way, for those who didn't or haven't caught yet, it was 3-1 over Kennesaw State, and then 3-0 over Akron Blue, who by many accounts was considered a lock for league play, and many said the only real challenge they may face is maybe Kennesaw State. It was Oklahoma Christian, so Oklahoma Christian just waiting on the lower bracket to play itself out. On the other side of the bracket, we ended up seeing a Ball State versus Ball State. It's wide, okay. Ball State versus Ball State matchup as Ball State Black took out Baylor 3-1. So CRL, it brings upsets every year. This year, no exception. And with Baylor having both Andy and Hoxer, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a massive one. There was a question that was posed to me whenever I was at the Raleigh major, and they're like, "Hey, so like, is collegiate becoming tier 2?" And initially, I had responded, and I was like, "Well, it feels kind of like retirement home extension of careers," which I should have just interpreted as tier 2. But it definitely has been able to elevate with pros finding their way into the collegiate sector, and that's exactly what has been now making this particular affair of competition even tougher for everyone to be able to move in and out of. But I also saw that WVU versus Fisher Falcons Game 5 win by the Mountaineers. That was wild. What's even wilder, we're getting 2-0 and we're just seeing the Warriors move in.
This feels like a return to form a little bit for the Warriors. They're getting some control. They're keeping some pressure. They're moving things around. We talked about maybe some, we got a party connection issue happening. So we'll let that fix itself real quick. But definitely feels like a return to form. We talked about the break maybe doing them some good, Monkey Man. It looks like it is. As Resh looks like he's going to do it again. Yeah. I mean, you can clip it as many times as you want. But this just goes to show this guy can just do it whenever he chooses.
All the Dragons are kind of stuck in the Dragons' den, though, as all 3 defenders waiting as they had to rotate late into this high-pressure vortex that is Indiana Tech. The thing that is going to get you to say Tech, is when they can do this, not just in rounds like these against kind of that Division 2, Division 3 style of teams, but when they can do it consistently against pretty much everyone, especially the upper echelon. I think that you and I were left with questions if their defense can be able to escape. Kevin will find something. Bit of an awkward face-your-own net position there for the defense.
Yeah, Kevin's not anything flashy, just finds a backboard, finds Resh in an awkward spot, and goes, I'm faster. And he was. So it's 3-1 with halfway to go, a little bit over halfway to go, exactly 1 second beyond. Kevin off the kickoff pops it back for Zerf, and Bluey will snatch that one back the other way where Serper will keep it moving for Drexel. This is a Drexel roster that last year had Baron, who had recently graduated. So Serper, the new third for Kevin and Zerf, is this one sent back the other way. Bluey denied by Kevin. The rebound just swept aside, but it keeps itself in the middle for now. Zerf will find the clear, and Indiana Tech will recoil back in their own end.
I wonder what Syrup's favorite syrup is. You got to think that they put syrup on things, right? You know,
I would hope so. It's in the name.
I mean, well, some people live ironically, and they live meta-ironically, which means that I should believe that maybe they do and do not syrup anything at all. But the correct answer is strawberry. So, you know,
okay.
That's the correct answer for all of you out there.
I understand. What I also understand is velocity just hit the backboard. I can see that with my own eyes. Bluey's shot also wide. But yeah, I also see some players from the Indiana Tech B team. I'm going to take a quick moment to shout them out. Top 8 in their group that had Northwood in it. That means that they were top 64 in the nation, roughly. That's a good result for the B team as well. So congratulations to Indiana Tech B away from the street.
Yeah, not bad at all. And I love that there's a depth of the program and all the support that obviously is coming out, not just for the players that are out there, but also as well as some of the parents. I got to see Bluey's dad hanging out with us, and so maybe they'll be hanging out continuously throughout the day. A couple of extra demos, couldn't complete the run, clearing the board of Dragons. I thought maybe Dragon's Fire was reserved for fighting other people, but it seems like it can be used right against those scaly beasties out of Drexel. Good extra flip and continuation there by Reshiram. But this is all about sealing out game number 1. Indiana Tech trying to just really kind of ramp up the pace.
Yeah, and it's definitely been a breath of fresh air as well. Probably for them as well to see things start falling in their favor a little bit. Kevin trying to advance things for Drexel. Velocity. Did he get a flip? He definitely has one now, but he refuses to use it. Just leaves it awkward in front of the net. One more goal means absolutely nothing to the Warriors. That's game 1. The Warriors are 2 wins away from a date with, I think, still to be determined. Obviously, still the rest of the series to go, but that's a good start to this series.
Did we talk about
they are going to get one more. Okay. Resh is just making this series his own little highlight package for himself.
Did we talk about the most glaring upset that's happened?
I don't know. Have we?
Michigan State beating Concord.
I'm sorry. What?
Michigan State beat Concord in game number 5.
Oh my goodness.
That means Concord's in the lower finals, waiting on whoever makes it through this bracket.
So Michigan State's just on another level right now, folks. Wow.
Look, Drewy was looking like that, right? Like something about that team, like just shutting down that offense. Like I was like, all right, this feels weird. Something's up. Disruption, dismay, and denial of true offenses, and maybe that's what Michigan State was doing throughout that series. So, wow, I think that's honestly to me the biggest upset of the day, alongside the Akron one, but I feel like this one even more.
Yeah, Concord, we've talked about it before ad nauseum. Anywhere from the number 1 team in the nation to what? Absolute worst 3rd, 4th best team in the nation. That's what we've seen based on Colleague or Bepic or DJ TJ, other people who do rankings. That's huge for Michigan State, and maybe that's something the Warriors can walk away with and go, maybe that result wasn't as bad as it felt originally. Kevin trying to make it 1-0 for Drexel here right away as the Warriors. Now they do have an opportunity to have a get back not only with Concord, but if they can get through Concord, Michigan State as well. And Resh is, again, Monkey Man, I'm starting to think Resh has had enough. I think he's angry because this is a different level we're seeing out of the Frenchman.
So you know what? All of y'all were afraid of my people when it came to RLCS throughout the entirety of this year. And then my people got deleted from out of the World Championships. So now I need to prove that the baguette bites twice. See if that goes forward here as, wow, okay, great navigation by Kevin.
So awkward kickoff.
Yeah. It's a great collection, though. But Indiana Tech, they've definitely been put on the heels immediately from the center crosshair.
Vila looking to work this one back. Who's on the right side? Well, who else other than Resh? But Vila will rattle this one around. Tries to go central with it. Resh. He's there. He's got a flip. He doesn't use it. Bluey will send it back for Velocity, who has one touch, and we'll leave it back for Bluey, who sends it straight back where it came from. Zerf will turn and burn. Velo will take it away from him. Pop middle for, well, I think they were looking for Bluey. It does actually find its way to Bluey, and the lead has doubled in size here with 3:52 to go.
It's a nice pop out by Velocity, and that's just a mishandle. You had both Syrupper and Kevin on the no touch, and that just bounces to the top of the key. So Bluey's going to take a chance at swiping that every day of the week, and he'll make sure to punish what the Dragons left behind. Drexel, I've seen them over into NECC level of play, and this definitely is a team that has been menacing, but you had mentioned that they've kind of had a change up of the roster, still made it to this point, but Indiana Tech is kind of giving them everything they can handle and more.
Yeah, I mean, this is starting to feel like, well, we said Resh is angry. I'm starting to wonder if the whole team might have a little bit of a point to prove from this point out, because this isn't just what we saw in the beginning with the best of threes. This is a team that maybe has woken up a little bit.
Now, if things stay kosher and moving the right way between these two, Indiana Tech possibly sweeping their way or at least winning this series. It will be the Warriors facing off against the winner of Conestoga and Tigers UANL. Need I remind you how close that was?
Yeah. Yeah, and that would be a fun... I mean, either team, honestly, would be a fun series to watch. Bluey's looking to make it 4. That one was denied by, I believe it was Zerf? May have been Sierra, but I actually didn't catch the name live. Either way, Drexel will hold it in the offense for all of 5-6 seconds, and Velocity will steer it back out with 2 touches. Resh maybe looking back. Bluey finds it off the bounce. To the backboard, water falls down. Kevin will keep it out wide as Velocity was on the task. Bluey, I'm not sure what that was, but it will find its way back into Drexel's hands for a moment.
That was one of those moments. Bluey's just waiting on the big boost. He's parked his car. He's like, all right, the ball's over here. Fine. Sure. Come on.
just press. It's like the tutorials in video games. Press A to jump.
Like, oh, jump for double jump.
Bluey will steer this one to the side, and look who's on the ball once again. What does he have? He's got a musty. That time denied by Zerf. Bluey said, Velocity, you've done enough with the ball. And Velocity says, actually, I'm going to hand it back off to the guy who's clipped on Drexel more times than I can count, which means it's at least 3 times, because I can't count higher than 3. Velocity infield to Bluey. The shot is denied by a conglomerate of Dragons. Zerf gets demoed for his sins of standing in the way of the Warriors. Syrupper will try and get it out as far as Resh. And eventually the follow-through from Kevin will find its way back out for Drexel.
I was trying to figure out, because you said conglomerate of dragons, I wanted to know what a group of dragons was called. Apparently it's called a thunder.
A thunder?
Maybe a thunder of dragons. Or maybe a flight. Like, they interchangeable between the two. Kind of cool. But it's been all, it's been very soft sounds. Soft, just easy to sleep to thunder coming out of the Drexel half of this pitch, because Indiana Tech has been absolutely living on bluegrass for a while. The switch up between Velocity and Bluey, getting the power flick, 2 defenders responding. It's going to come right back over the backboard. You do have a good position there out of Zerf. They're looking for one. They might be able to grab it, but Bluey does pick up at least a nice concerted effort to keep this one clean. Might be able to kick up a clean sweep here in the second game. Keep things nice and zeroed up by their opponents. 40 seconds to go. Warriors on cruise control.
Yeah, this is one of those games where I'd like to see that nice field domination stat, see how long the ball has been on one side of the field. It's got to be like 70-some% here for the Warriors, because when it does end up in, oh my goodness, what a flick fresh. Bluey's hunting for demos. Kevin gets a bump, and actually Drexel's going to get on the board here.
Big demo.
Okay.
Right there. Boom. As soon as the cameraman switched, I was like, oh, they're going to die. And it was off the demo.
Yep.
Cameraman knew. He knew.
That's 3-1.
3-1? I think that's the same mark that they had in the previous game, right?
I believe so. So history repeating itself here. Maybe 4-1 here. No, I think it was 4-1. Fresh got a gold 0 seconds because he had to get another get back. So 3-1 this time. It is an improvement, at least for the moment, for Drexel. Now it is officially by score an improvement. By result, it is not. The Warriors up 2-0 over Drexel. And they are moments away here from a clean sheet against Drexel. Well, not clean sheet, clean sweep. And getting business taken care of, at least for the moment. Still waiting on that result between Conestoga and UANL. It has been going on for 36 minutes and 59 seconds exactly. Still got nothing. I mean, for a best of 5, you probably got about another 15 minutes or so before they actually start reporting scores. For now, if you look at this score, I'm happy.
A lot of shots. 9-4, if my caster math is simple arithmetic. So a lot of pressure. You had about 6 saves to the 2 that was posted up by Indiana Tech, so they didn't really have to live on their back half. Didn't live on their heels. You have Resh, who truly feels like there is unfinished business. That this is not the idea of the Warriors that he wants anyone to kind of see and know about. They want to post up the same way that Michigan State did, apparently, unto the Concord crew, but they've got to get themselves back in a day. They have this round, they have the semifinals forthcoming if they progress through here, and then they have a date to have to get through that into yonder Concord. So still several challenges, and that's before they even get to the grand finals.
Yeah, and then to take 2 series if they even get there against Michigan State, which, I mean, now we know on a completely different level. Velo's not going to get the double. Rush, the shot is high, but steered aside as well by, I believe that was Syruper with the save. Zerk will look to get this one out. A pile of cars will keep this one in the Warrior end for a moment until Rush moves this one out. And here we go. Into the air, 1 flip, make it 2 to the backboard. Oh my goodness, Resh!
When I get excited, just watch Resh. Flip reset, smack it, double flip reset, cool, dunk it down. Wow. Yeah, I did that yesterday.
Yeah, me too, in my dreams. It is 1-0 Indiana Tech with 3:55 to go. That's a backflip from Velocity, which will enable a shot from Kevin. Velo with 1 touch and 2 to keep it out wide. And here comes the Frenchman once more, except this time, the attack delayed. They'll steer it up high. Kevin thought about the redirect attempt there from Resh for a moment. Just played the ball instead, and he made the right decision. Plenty of demos coming out in the background for the Warriors, and the attack continues. Resh again, flip towards the net. It's open. I mean, Resh is just leading the charge offensively. This time it's Velocity. It's 2-0.
And Bluey going for a big bump. They got to at least the backside of Syruper, and that cleared the rest of the way for the try-true control by both Resh and then Velocity, simply waiting for his teammates to execute, which they did so. So that's the kind of way that this team likes to play. The thing for Indiana Tech is they got to keep considering that they are going to be moving through even tougher opponents. So this is at least a reminder of how well their offense can fluidly fold other people. You're going to have this try for control by the Dragons. They get up underneath Resh for a second. Velocity was told to go and bump a defensive man, but they couldn't quite get a handle on him.
Resh is going to look to keep the attack going. He was looking for a shot there, by the way. That was an attempt at a corner redirect at the net. This time he didn't get it. That's off the bar from Syruper, and Velocity will steer this one out wide. He does have another touch. Make it 3, but Zerf will shut that one down. Bluey up to steal some boost, and then run some interference as well off the double commit. Syruper, not bothered, will just send it back. But there is Resh again, who has definitely been the highlight, a major difference maker, and in what has been a largely different effort from the Warriors here in this series.
Wanted to wake up. They wanted to find that high-flying offense that has found them such value. And so far, this series has been all of that in a bag of chips. Bluey getting dunked on. Zerf is going to accidentally help that one out. They were hoping for a redirect, maybe a back pass over to their third man as they approach. Kevin gets deleted. So this becomes a lot ball, no relay. Velocity will climb the wall. He doesn't have any real boost with it. That's going to be a slam down on Ruski, but that comes outwards. Zerf was hoping for more, and then he's turned into a memory. Sidewall, no one's there, but they're forcing Drexel to have to take that first stutter step before they can move forward.
Well, Drexel's down to the final 100 seconds of their qual attempt here. It is Kevin trying to steer things out. Resh gets a 50 and it just goes right back to Velocity, who has no boost. He gets dumped, but it's right back to Bluey, who will steer this one right back out again. Well, actually working around him and out into the middle. This is going to go. Wow, I mean, I think I just watched a spectator. That was incredible.
Bluey just around this bend, finds something through, and Velocity just waiting it out. Also, to give you results, UANL defeated Conestoga. It will be a rematch if Indiana Tech progresses through this game in 3-0 fashion. So I hope you're prepared to sweat. Bring your towels, get some ice water. You're going to need to get through the heat of this next matchup if this holds.
The Warriors a chance to prove a point that it was a fluke. Well, it's 4-0 now, so it's almost certainly over at this point. 1 minute and 2 seconds to go. I mean, it's just a completely different animal from the Warriors this time versus what we saw them. What did like Coach Jake and Chippy and them say during the break? Something changed. Maybe, I don't know. They get a Monster, an energy drink. I'm sorry, not sponsored. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
I don't know. Something changed. Something changed. I'm not sure, but I mean, this is, completely different. But for UANL, much like how the Warriors are looking for a get back now against Michigan State and Concord, they're looking for their get back on Indiana Tech.
It's gonna be a dangerous way. I don't know. Maybe they went to Bluey and they just asked who your favorite waifu is. They have to have a little debate about that. Maybe played the French national anthem for Reshiram. Just felt very patriotic. They just found some inspiration. Got out there, started having fun. I feel like a lot of the game ends up kind of in your head, especially for a team that wants to be able to just get through some of these bigger opponents, but you got to be lively and you got to find that spark. That was done so, but the spark of these Dragons has died out as Drexel will go down 0-3 here against the good old Warriors. And Tech, we're moving over into the lower semifinals. Rematch time, baby, with the Tigers.
I'm seeing in chat, someone said that Chippy put baguettes on the line. That is also possible. That's possible. I can't confirm or deny whether or not that's true. I haven't talked to him since since prior to the land. Monkey Man, you and I spoke to him a little bit before the start of this, but we haven't heard a word from them since then. They have been locked in since that moment. Either way, the beat goes on for the Warriors here. They take out Drexel. Now it's UANL once again in, well, a win-or-go-home environment.
Tigers, Concord, and Michigan State twice. That's the pathway if they actually want to make split one league play. 4 separate matches, and it's opponents that they've seen before, today and this weekend. So, nothing to it but to do. They just got to be able to beat UANL. UANL had a very counterplay heavy style. This matchup against Drexel was like, let's open up the floodgates. Let's get our offense going because this has got to be our warm up moving into this semifinal. That looks really scary. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, from what we saw in the best of 3. But as we all know as well, both for UANL and for the Warriors, if they do move even further, from what we've seen in the bracket, upsets all over the place. Everyone's human right now. Akron fell to the lower bracket. Oklahoma Christian is 1 win away. Last we checked from a league play spot. Baylor is human. I mean, it's CRL. Rocket League is doing what Rocket League does best, which is be completely unpredictable at certain points in tournaments. But I think that's it for now. We'll be back in probably not too long because I'm guessing both teams just want to get this thing moving. Don't go too far. Warriors and Tigers coming up. I told you it wouldn't be long. And what? That was 30, 45 seconds, maybe a minute. Yeah, the Warriors and Tigers are getting set here for not a best of 3 this time. It's a best of 5. And we were looking around the rest of the bracket. I mean, everything is pretty much going the way we thought it would, aside from, you know, the Oklahoma Christian, the Michigan State that you mentioned, Ball State. Actually, the Ball State versus the Ball State Bowl, I'll call it, went to 5. The A-team did end up winning that one. I mean, I don't know. CRL is just a wild place to be. It got a lot better. Teams are a lot closer than I think a lot of people realize. We are underway in game 1.
This is not your grandpa's CRL. There's newness to it. The key thing that we got to be looking into this matchup as well, there were some defensive sleepiness moments out of Indiana Tech when they last faced against the Tigers. They looked great offensively, but this is the kind of punishment that can happen. This is a squad out of UANL. They hit the gap, they go running, and they just go for disruption, and they will find you when you are not ready.
Well, this is an all too familiar position for the Warriors against this team. Here we go again. This is popped up off the kickoff. Izzo, flip reset in hand. It's 2-0.
How this one fall through? This one, okay. First touch here. I think the last touch. No, they got the flip reset and the drop down. Wow. Okay. Tigers left with space are a dangerous kitty cat. So the Warriors are going to have to change pace. They were freewheeling. They were allowed a lot of open pitch territory, and now that has completely been snuffed out. A third one, perhaps? No. Luckily for them, it falls out.
Rush back the other way. Not a lot of boost in the tank. Denied by Divisa. And Velocity swings and misses. Louis now with no boost. They'll just pop it up over the top of 1. Legendary's there. Sent back. Velocity in the middle looking for Resh. He does get the beat. Does he have the double? He does. It falls through. Excuse me. I thought it was getting steered aside.
Let's see. All right. Lift up. Drop down. Mazzo. Oh, just couldn't read it. And Divisa was very much just backflipping, hoping that Mazzo was going to be able to get there. So, okay. All right. This is another switch up of how these two teams are going to face off with one another. Very defensively minded. Even when you had the Warriors pressing up, this is an offensive salvo to open up things here in the first minute of game 1.
Yeah, the Warriors still need 1 to get back. Resh is going to look to find that answer. That's actually a good pass in the middle. It's still awkward. Velo is going to drop it down to Bluey, and that is steered aside by Legendary. Resh to the left wall. Bluey into the middle. He finds Velo. That is dangerous. His step is wide and sent back once more, but Fresh will pop one on. It's off the bar. You've got to think, though, for the Warriors, it's stuff like that you've really got to pay more attention to. Velocity can't bury it off the bump.
Louis was priming that. It was on a platter. There's been times where they've come up short and for things that feel like it's just waiting too long. There's a lot of just sit back and wait, seeing if UANL will commit a mistake. And Indiana Tech is giving them time to breathe. Those are the times that these Tigers will pounce, hoping to make a catch from Velocity as Bluey. He then gets demoed, so it's going to have to be up to Reshiram to try and continue this run. He'll take the boost away, but Tigers are aiming to do the exact same thing. It will not happen, so you have very low boosts. And at least a couple of these guys on the sidewall, it's too forlorn of a dish there from Velocity. And some of this is kind of out of sorts. You're seeing a reliance on individual play. Indiana Tech, though, has at least been able to neutralize the last minute and a half or so. That is a nice drop, but it will be found as well by the defense.
Bluey going to try and keep the press on. He sees Velocity. He's going to go across for Resh. Resh up to the ceiling, but Divisa snuffs that one out. Bluey up over the top of 1. Izzo sends it back, and Resh with the defensive 50. Velocity looking for control. He's got the ball taken away from him. Now Resh in the left corner. 2 minutes to go here in game 1. Warriors, the last series looked like a return to form, and I'm going to be honest with you, UANL have also elevated their game the second time through.
They've been making a long pathway of this through the lower bracket. This has been what, 1, 2, 3. This is their 4th match down here. So they are low bracket warriors. Much that Indiana Tech is trying to just be all that and by name. That's a free net. Reshi will grab it. We tied it 2. Who in the world got beat back here? That's Mazo.
Well, 92 seconds to go. We are tied. And I do want to remind everyone at home, the winner of this earns a date with Concord up next, who, much like Michigan State, is probably watching this and loving every second of what they're seeing to start. Because these two teams are kind of out for blood right now. This is dangerous. And Bluey will find the clear. Mizo will send it to the side. Moves a demo away from the play. The Warriors with, I think, an abbreviated power play. Velocity takes the flip, goes low, then back up high. The rebound doesn't find it either. That was Resh on the second attempt, and in the final 60, here comes UANL. Velocity catches to the backboard and up over the top of Legendary. That's a beautiful clear, and that will force everything to slow down.
Unfinished business between these two. And unfinished business left unsaid. Oh my goodness, the flip reset. Mazo. They've done that before directly at the goal line. I think that was goal number 2 when that happened. But just all this aerial focus. As soon as you need one extra flip to extend, he's going to grab it. Reshiram just wasn't able to get that more backside angle to stop on that challenge.
Warriors going to have to find an opportunity and fast here. That's not helpful, though. Legendary off the bar. And maybe a second shot at life here for the Warriors. Resh, flip reset, must-see! And we're tied!
That's a nice catch and go. All right. When you need your man to be like Mazo, Reshiram can do it just like that. Quick musty, got the flip, able to just sling it forward. 3-3 at 33 seconds here in game 1. It has been a barn burner late term. Neither of these teams going out easy.
Who else right now than Resh to keep the Warriors in it? It is Velocity. What else does he have? One touch. Who else is up? And it's actually Devisa for the Tigers. That was a demo in the backfield, except it was, I think, a Warrior who went down. Resh underneath. Final 10, and one more threat for the Warriors. Cleared away there by the Tigers.
Bluey's in for control.
No time on the clock, dunked away, but with that, we are against a familiar foe in a familiar situation.
They need it. Oh, okay.
And not a familiar result.
I think that's the first kickoff goal we've had that happened in overtime. Sometimes it works out. Yeah, the delay man off of the right side piece of the kickoff. And for all of the extra efforts that the Tigers pushed up with, that has got to be a little bit defeating.
And you know what? For the Warriors, after a yeah, look at that from Mazo. I mean, single-handedly. That's definitely not the correct stats for the Warriors. I think everyone left early. But Mazo's stats were correct. 3 goals, 3 saves, 3 shots in a demo. That's a player who is out for revenge, Monkey Man. He was not happy with the first result, and not for a lack of effort in game 1. He was keeping his team in it.
But I gotta wonder, did they use it all up? Sometimes you get teams and players that they move into a game, especially game 1 of a series, to reestablish rapport against your opponent, and they pour everything out, and that was it. You know, DLC goals, I like to say. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You purchased the extra ones, boom, they're gone. Is that going to be a flash in the pan? Was that all of a moment of Mazo? Or will the minutes tell us that it will be a consistent factor? We've seen Reshiram be much more than just DLC. He has been absolutely tearing through them. And when you leave him an open ball, he's going to get that goal.
I mean, how do you even find this angle? What?
Nasty.
Oh, my goodness. If there was any question if Resh has arrived, I think the answer is plainly obvious now. 1-0 Warriors, 6 seconds in, and Resh is already looking for the second off the ceiling. Drop down for Velo. I think Resh got bumped into the block and sent back for a moment. Bluey clears it right side. There's Velo. He's going to go to the backboard. Visa looking for a response. It's a 2v1. We've seen what happens when they have space. It's high. The rebound stopped by Bluey.
Just staying in the right spot. Knew generally where to have some of that read. Bluey is actually a fantastic ones player and knows how to take on some of those challenges. And especially when it's double stacked, you just kind of rest right in the middle of the pack. He's also great at twos. Kid really is wonderful. Rusharam, though, is taking snipe shots. Doesn't matter from what angle. He's making some of these just too hot to handle. And Velocity, again, they take advantage when the defense lets something loose.
I mean, between Resh going for clip after clip and then Velocity just keeping the pace, it's two completely different looks that UANL is having to cover right now, and it's hard. Listen, it's the same problems that so many other teams to start the year have already faced. Not many have found answers to a select few ETSU. Okay, Velocity, that was not the play, my friend. That is a good answer for UANL, but definitely not for Velocity. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to act like that didn't happen. There are not many teams that have found answers to that conundrum for the Warriors. ETSU, Concord, most recently Michigan State. It's a tough challenge to face, and we're tied, by the way. It's just... We've talked about, general sloppiness off of kickoffs in our own end. And again, there's just no one back.
Devisa technically had that one, but since he got finished off by Mazo, that means Mazo has scored all 5 goals acquired by UANL. So, Can anyone else score for the Tigers? I'm sure that they can. Trying to back things up and get a demo. Solving puzzles, be it Millennium or otherwise, is up to what the Warriors tasked themselves to do. And Bluey wants to find a follow-up from the efforts of his teammate in Reshiram, but this one will fall again. And Mazo, this one finally goes to legendary. He's like, look, you gotta stop taking all the goals, Mazo. Let me take this one.
It's 3 open nets.
Yeah.
It's 3 goals the same way.
Well, this one not kickoff though. This one just...
No, you're right. It's not a kickoff goal, but no defender back. It's pretty easy when it's lined up to you like that. And now the Warriors, where they looked like they finally have a statement made, had one sent right back to them. And it's now Resh with a flip, and he's still going. Well, he gets the dunk. The rebound's still there, but it's up over the top of Bluey's head off the clearance. And Legendary will pursue. And actually 50's in a perfect spot, but the shot's a beamer high. The rebound there as well. Resh the save still available. Legendary just goes up for Mazo. Mazo looking for Devisa. Won't make contact. And it's 4-2.
That's 4 in a row right now from out of the Tigers. I like the idea here from being able to get that next touch, because without that, if you try to go for just another shot on target, Bluey is blocking that with the entirety of their undercarriage. Instead, they high popped it as an option for their teammate that was coming in. So UNL has found a way to disrupt. You have Velocity going for the backboard. Oh, but he doesn't connect. What are they kind of waiting on when it comes to some of these touches? It feels like they're thinking that too much is going to occur. The fake outs. You got to finish the job.
Oh, it's brutal. When things finally looked like they were starting to go our way, it has gone right back to more of the same. That's a demo out in front. Resh leaving it there. Is Mazo beat? No, he is not. Warriors keep the attack on. 2 minutes to go. They're going to need 3 to make it a 2-0 series. Hey, the net's open. Legendary back on the rotate. Velocity is there. He and Bluey both commit. Rush to Bluey into the middle. Velocity's there, but cut down in front. Warriors definitely not for a lack of effort here in the last minute or so.
Lack of anticipation, maybe just not knowing when they need to leap off of that last effort between Bluey and Velocity. But Indiana Tech looks like they've kind of lost the sauce. Reshiram will make sure to put a whole plop of it onto the plate. 90 seconds now as Tigers. That was a Velocity to Reshiram, and Reshiram has just been slinging fists, seeing what will land, and that was a great counterplay.
We're down by 1 with 90 seconds to go. Where have we seen this one before? Bluey on his way. Clip reset. Visa makes the save. Resh is there, and we're tied right on cue. Resh with the heady. It's 4-4.
Pretty sure this is the most amount of goals that we've gotten in a single game today here for Indiana Tech. And what a slight angle to make that one happen. Reshiram just doesn't want to go away. He's buttering the baguette and he's slapping the Tigers in the face with it. Indiana Tech, oh boy, they saw 4 go in a row against them. It'll be a demo. Offends the defensive crowd. Mazzo's going to try and do the same thing. Divisa with a poor pickup, but the possession stays with UANL. If you're Indiana Tech, you cannot let the momentum and all of the jitters of this game 1 or game 2 moment get against you. Redirect, what a read. I think that was Mazzo that made the stop, but they're still going.
Oh, it's open for a moment. What does Resh have here? Just a straight shot. Denied. Rebound. Denied twice.
Wow.
Oh, Velo saw it. And then it was taken away. Bluey from his own corner. He'll just send it before he gets demoed. Visa in the air. Resh will steer that one aside. Look at the sweeps coming out from UANL on offense. All of a sudden, the physicality ramping way up. And that may have been a mistake on either side. It's 5-4.
9 goals. 9 goals between these two. A 10th to either give insurance or to just get us to bonus Rocket League. The double commit is going to go flying by. And Indiana Tech sees themselves somehow in control. I would say that with a grain of salt, because they've got to season this one all the way to the end. Another double commit. They will commit extra numbers. The Warriors trying to stay up in the last 10 seconds.
Well, if anything, this is a response that we have not seen. A little bit of grit from the Warriors we haven't seen yet today. And that does it. A 2-0 series lead in probably the wildest game we've seen today. I mean, that was a war. That was both teams. You've mentioned it multiple times. Haymakers after haymaker. Resh with 3. Velo with 2. I didn't quite catch who it was on the UANL side that had 3. It was Mazzo again with 3. It's literally Mazzo going toe to toe with Resh, and then Velo potting 2 of his own as well. This is, I mean, there's some tension here. There's some anger.
There's a brawl happening right in front of our eyes. And as well as the 10 saves, I think 6 of them by one player in particular for the side of UANL. Just, you know what? You're going to have to move through us. And because of games like this, when you have such high volume of not just shots, but as well as just scores between them, you're going to see mistakes occur. It was 2 goals for the Warriors to be able to even kick off that game, 4 in a row and a nearly full handful out of to the Tigers from UANL. And then you saw Reshiram slowly just find these off angles and eventually thinking they want to end it in regulation, not allow overtime. The Tigers bit, and they bit a little bit too deep. So now it's a 2-0. It's going to be, if it's a sweep, the most not sweep that we've seen in a while. But Mazzo continues to do crazy things. Big save, and they will find a way to stop him.
It's going right back. Oh, that is the worst possible start to Game 3 for UANL. Not only by the fact that you're down 1-0 right away, but for your mental. That's brutal.
Mental boom. Boom. That's what Indiana Tech is going to bank on. This is a team that strikes hot. Reshiram, he is going so far up the ladder, he might as well have been remaking it. Extra double tapping, but they played it with pause and poise on the side of the Tigers. And now it goes ricocheting right back.
I mean, I don't really know how many times we need to say it. The team has definitely looked different since that Michigan State loss, but I'm noticing one distinct difference. It's the guy who just got demoed, Resh, playing on a completely different plane of existence right now.
They're going to need that, especially long term. If this one ends up going the right way, they're going to need that through at least 3 more series if they truly intend to to get into the first split of league play. What a save. Mindful that Mazzo is there. Mazzo is not the DLC player. Mazzo truly is the mainstay. He has come alive. This one was not his in the first time that they met in that BO3. Reshiram is standing up. Bluey's going to be on the back line. He's going to be pressured. Nice little doink. Oh, my Lord, Mazzo knew it was coming down.
Wow. I mean, and promptly the response from UANL. Wow. I mean, it's not going to be easy to get that third win, that's for sure. For either of these two teams, if we do get to that point. This is, that's a demo in the back line. Okay, Velocity recognized it, but he still didn't steer it to safety. It's still there, Resh. Off the respawn makes the save. Velo off the second attempt pops it away. Legendary has Mazza to his left. Legendary, I don't think he got the flip. No, he didn't, and it's just absolutely same-day delivery sent straight back into the Tigres end. Visa just keeping it wide. Resh. What does he have? One flip. That's going to be it this time. Almost feel spoiled with how much we've seen from him that we only get one flip reset, Monkey.
Only one touch? Craziness. How about two touch? They slap it down. Oh, a nice extension. Velocity keeps it actually high as everyone was paused. It's going to be an attempt on getting maybe a demo, maybe a bumped as a lateral sweep, but so little boost in the back line of the Tigers. They want to advance forward.
We got to roll one. It's Velocity and Mazzo. This is Bluey and Resh versus Legendary and Divisa at this point. Okay, they broke it.
Back.
They broke it. Okay.
Darn.
You know what? Fair enough. When your CRL qual's on the line, I know people are going to be upset.
It's fair.
I would too. Yeah. I would too. But I'll look back and figure out who it was that broke it. Based on the goal, it was probably Velocity. That tends to be the way it goes,
so?
right? That's the rule, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you get scored on, then yes. Mazzo. What? Okay. I want to know how many goals have been scored just by Mazzo for all of Tigers. This is...
I mean, okay.
Okay. Well, it's the Mazzo and Reshiram show.
Oh, Legendary. Well...
That'll do it.
We take those. It's a 2-2 tie.
You said that last series too. And with Legendary.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Velocity looking to make it 3-2. Oh, this is so dangerous for the Tigers. Yeah, you saw that one coming. That is so well played by Velo. I mean, to slow it down and force him into basically an AFK position. I mean, wow. 3-2. The bounce back has happened, ladies and gentlemen.
2-3 at 2:03. The Indiana Tech wants to keep pouring the rain on and make it a dreary day for the Tigers. See if Reshiram continues to just be Reshiram as he goes and at least slaps down one defender. I think that was in the form of Mazzo. Divisa devising a way to get this team back in the right direction as Mazzo goes for a demo. That's going to be a free net. Yep, it took one solid touch. Legendary making up for what he left behind before.
I mean, we said this was a war, and it continues to be. 3-3, 102 seconds exactly on the clock. We'll see what the rest of the story has to say. Bluey, low 50, got the flip? I didn't even see him get the flip. Oh, this one's going back though. Oh no.
Oh boy. No panic, no issues. Indiana Tech has brought these back before. Great 50 find. Divisa will take that one away from Legendary, who's just looking for space. And Indiana Tech is often caught with their backline wide open. So Tigers continue to kind of bait up their prey. The Warriors are sharpening their swords. Bluey trying to do the same thing. They want to slap Divisa. They do so. Gotta check out Reshiram. Hatsune Miku car is going to have to find the Miku beam to see if they can find their way through.
This one out to the side, gets around one. I think he's got more here, but Legendary, that's not an ideal touch. That's not a bad one either. Resh hunting for Del. If he would have got it, it would have been open. He was very close. Bluey will pop this one out. Divisa is up. He'll have one, maybe two. Resh will put the hand up. It's right into Bluey's hands. And here we go. Underneath. Net's open. I think Philo missed. But Divisa was there regardless. That was a look. 40 seconds to go. Warriors need one. And who else on the ball in this situation? Resh, does he have it? It's still there. We're tied.
That delay. Where were the rest? Okay. This defense, you see Mazo gonna pin in. It's a 1v1 versus Reshiram. They have them both going in. Bluey securing that Mazo will be a non-factor. Both Divisa as well as Legendary stuck on the outside of the box looking in. So confident that Mazo was going to be able to do it. We're back to yet another 8-score ball game where the 9th one could be the one that ends it. Reshiram brings it upfield. 25 seconds to go from sidewall to corner. Indiana Tech, do they overextend here? They will make sure to rotate away.
Bluey looking for the dagger. He's got Velo on the infield. Sent out there by Mazo. There's Resh. Just denied by Divisa, who was ready for it on the backboard this time. That's infield. Resh again to the corner. He wants to do it himself. He's going to pause and wait. What does he have? It's still up.
Oh, okay.
Mazo keeps it that way. Legendary will ground it. And it's going to be overtime to decide whether this series continues or it's all over.
Is this our third overtime of all 3 games in OT? Well, we're about to see a photo finish. Sealing it down. Legendary dropping. Mazo getting challenged. Bluey will backline bop him. Velocity from the outside. He gets around one. He's got Bluey in the wing. That one's going all the way back. And Reshiram had to be speedy to catch up.
It was almost straight into the hands of, I'm not sure which player that was, too, for UANL, but it looked lethal for a moment. And now the Warriors on the back foot. Resh with control in his corner. He'll work it around Divisa. He'll keep going. He got the demo, too. Bluey couldn't get infield. This one's wide. It's going to roll up as well. Actually, it's going to pop out. And the series continues. This is why I'm casting and not playing, ladies and gentlemen.
That read is done in repetition over and over and again, and I was concerned that it would go a little bit higher rather than roll. Legendary gives his team another breath of life. So not a sweep. Not a sweep. 9 goals set between both these squads. And look at the spread of 19 shots to the 11 out of the Tigers. 30 shots, it was all offense.
Yeah. I mean, if you're the Warriors, I still feel you got to clean up your own defense. The offense is clearly there. We are scoring. I mean, I don't even know how many goals we've scored in this series in 3 games. The offense is here. It has finally woke up. The defense still it's suspect at times. We're up 2-1. We got 2 more shots at this. But if the next one doesn't go our way, well, there's some questions to be asked, I think, for either side about what truly is next.
I mean, this is a team in UANL that has been able to keep everything very close. Get 1-goal games the entire way down. Overtimes all the time. And, you know, got to give a lot of credit to maybe a squad that no one or hadn't really put up into the higher power rankings. They played people very close. They played 4 series in a row so far in this lower side of the bracket after they were knocked down by the Warriors. So we always knew that this was going to be a tight-knit battle. Like you've been calling it a war. It's the Geneva Convention might be being thrown out the window depending on the patience for both these teams. So it's always been a comeback story between them. Momentum and pendulums and winds in the sails being out and down. So I don't know how this is going to go. Game 5 could be around the corner, and that would be a scary time for the Warriors, but every game has been just razor thin margins of difference.
Yeah, absolutely. They do, like we said, look more like themselves. By the way, in case you're wondering about the elongated pause, they're remaking Lobby right now. So we're getting there, but this feels more like the Indiana Tech we've known in recent times than what we saw earlier in this tournament. But still, I mean, UANL came to play in the first series. The Warriors have elevated their game. So did UANL. Here we go. Game 4 is set and ready to go. Do we have a game 5 or do we have a date with Concord? 5 minutes to determine.
All mountain lions waiting, lurking, wondering who in the world wants it more. Oh, yeah, they're going to flip away from that roll one. Velocity didn't want to have to lock things down and in, as Bluey was already looking for their first puncture onto the backboard. But Indiana Tech, something about this defense has just been dreary. Big flick. They're hoping to get UANL to be stuck on their back half.
Resch has a free shot. He missed. Velo was there for the rebound, just couldn't quite get the power on it. He was at an awkward angle. Sent back out by Mazzo. Tries to move further, can't quite. Now Divisa. Mazzo trying to run interference on the back line. The 50 goes right into the hands of Velocity, but a demo does come out, and that will give UANL a mild advantage that they look to extend there from Bluey's POV, but they were unable to find the second demo. Mazzo looking for the bump, can't quite find it, and now Resch. No boost. He's got a man to his right. He just looks top left. It goes. It's an own goal.
Legendary is always helping out. Secretly the fourth man on the side of Indiana Tech. But Resch did put a heater that he decided to go and leap up after. That was off to the front face, but it's a tough one to read. So that's the third time around. We do, in fact, take those for the side of the Warriors. But it was also one of those they force out the mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. And immediately, UANL looking for the response. Bluey will steer this one out to midfield. Mazzo, one touch. He's looking for two. It's Velocity from the backboard. Still awkward in front of the net. Bluey finds clearance. Not quite the release valve on the pressure, though, but that almost certainly will. And we'll get one, look for two, but again, kept in by the Tigers. And Velocity almost got blocked in the midfield again, but the net's open this time. Resch, does he have it? It's not clean enough, but it does go. 2-0.
May not be clean, but it gets the job done. Nice demo by Velocity, and I mean, honestly, give it to Resch on the adjustment. That ball was kind of it was skirting to the left as his car was majoritively heading right. He was able to get just enough of it as it hit that post at the top and bent his car and kind of spun it off to the right. So good looks, just making sure to finish off the draw.
Good adjustment here off the kickoff as well. Velocity looking to keep the press on. The Warriors almost certainly feeling good about how this is started, although this is going to be a response. That's a beautiful pass down from, I'm not sure who got the assist. It was a good start, but it was Divisa straight down to Mazzo. Of course, it was Mazzo getting the goal. We talked about that ad nauseum. He's been a resident goal scorer for UANL. That was the start the Warriors had hoped for. Maybe a little bit less so now that it's a one-goal game once more. Now you just hope to maybe press the brakes on the counterattack. Monkey Man, how do we keep finding ourselves in this position?
It's the exact same thing over and again, but let's give it to Divisa for some reason already being on the backboard of the Warriors' half of the pitch. Dude just saw the ball, and he's like, oh, wait, hold on. Just like threw that thing right back in the box. And this is also wash, rinse, repeat. What is going on? It is 2 one way, 2 the next way. If Tigers truly just want to keep, not surprising us, it's supposed to be 3 or 4 their direction. And then we just keep going for these crazy haymakers. It has been 9 goals each game the last 2 games. We're on pace to do the same thing.
Resch looking to get a response himself. Sidewall read to the backboard. Bluey is there, but it is swept away. Now Velocity, not much in the tank. He'll just go to the backboard. Divisa, no contact this time. 2 minutes to go. Legendary will send it back. More bumps coming out. The net's going to be open, but Resch, this time he knew. Bluey is there on the recovery. Wow, that ball just got glued to the wall, but Velocity finds his way out off the ceiling. Velo goes underneath. It finds its way back out into mid. Resch, deflection on net. It won't go. Mazzo is there in time. Bluey keeps the attack on up the left wall. That time it's denied, but the Warriors finding some space and finding some pressure now. Keeping it on. Legendary in an awkward spot. Velocity. He'll get demoed, but Bluey keeps the press moving. Mazzo will just keep it out wide. Bluey turns and burns again. This time it's Resch up for the task. Where's Velocity? There's the shot, and it's denied once more.
Seeing Mazzo take a considerable amount of time sitting onto the goal line. He knows he can be patient, work through kind of that big boost. There's very little that actually is sitting in the canisters of the Tigers. They've been able to at least get legendary with one solid 100. Velocity is going to challenge him. He's going to dunk it down. They send to where's the third man. Bluey's going to be in the wing. Velocity will be called off as Bluey goes for this, but he actually comes right back up to it. It's going to be Reshiram who's waiting. Indiana Tech had all of UNL pinned. They try to go in 2v1 against Reshiram. Now a counterplay. Legendary. He's going to be bumped. He's flip reset. Bluey! 3-2. Less than a minute. They get that lead back.
Who else but Bluey in this case? I mean, you need something done. Sometimes you're better off doing it yourself. 3-2 Warriors with 46 seconds to go. This is not over. I refuse to believe this is over. Okay, maybe now.
Whoa. Don't say it yet.
Okay.
Don't say it yet.
All right,
Don't say it yet.
I'm holding. I'm pressing the brakes.
Keep them frosty. Keep them hot. Gotta
The brakes have been sufficiently pressed. My foot is through the floor.
But 4-2 is pretty hot. It's pretty ready. Warriors try to get a date with the Mountain Lions. Previous games have been so close. 1 goal diffs. 30 seconds though, Bub. You gotta hold on tight.
Oh, there's a good look right away. Legendary trying to run interference. Tigers, 20 seconds potentially remaining in their bid for a league play spot. Divisa keeps it in. Bluey will hold in the corner, gets underneath one, and gets around 2. Final 10, the net is open, and that is the dagger.
Stabs straight through the heart of these Tigers. That one mathematically puts it nigh unreachable. Bluey finds the last couple. GGs have been called by Divisa, and that is the white flag being flown by UANL. What a match between these two. They've already actually left the lobby early, but got to give a lot of credit here, Bub. The 2 different matches that the Warriors and the Tigers fought out today, absolutely fantastic Rocket League to watch. I can't wait to see it happen again in the future.
That was, I mean, for lack of a better term, it was cinema.
Yeah.
The games, 2 through 4? Games 2, I mean, yeah, even the last one there. Everything was up in the air. We didn't know what direction we were headed. Warriors get a 2-0 lead. 30 seconds later, we're tied. We saw that 3 times in this series. We had, 2 or 3 overtimes, counting the first series as well. I think all 3 of those games, if I'm not sure. The VOD may prove me wrong. My memory, I live in right here. I don't really remember. I think we had 2 or 3 overtimes in that series as well. I mean, that's a fantastic battle put up by UANL, and there's nothing to be ashamed about for that fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a scary beast to have to see them. Depending on if these teams end up kind of in opens again, things go sideways here for Indiana Tech today. They may see each other a lot in the opens. Who knows how that may go? And anyone that has to deal with UANL, be ready for a squad that simply does not relent. And Mazzo, he's kind of a monster, but the Warriors made it through. They've got a date in the lower finals with Concord. They've already seen them once today. Hopefully the second time is the charm.
Indeed. Well, I don't have much more to say. The stage is set. They're both playing at the same LAN. They're still both in the Chattanooga Convention Center. We'll be back in just a little bit. It's Warriors and Concord. Don't go far. And we are back. Monkey Man, this time it's personal. It's Indiana Tech. It's Concord. They just played each other earlier today. And now they get another shot at revenge. Concord won in Chattanooga 4-1. And the Warriors are up 1-0. 15 seconds in. Hello?
Is the scoreboard backwards? I think? Question mark? It's good. Okay, I was tripping for all of a second.
Now.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Very cool. Cool. Yeah! Seeing Indiana Tech finding that in first play. I've seen a lot of Helix, Crisp, and CMOS. This squad is dangerous. Possibly one of the top 3 best in the entirety of the country. They proved that all of last year and this year, well, I guess into 2024 as well from previous to that. Indiana Tech is trying to prove that the investment of seeing this program fly and more players come to it is going to pay off today. You have to get past the already upsetty spaghetti Mountain Lions and see if they can be on them as this squad comes out from deep in the Athens side of West Virginia. So Indiana Tech hoping that they can provide some more upsets here against Concord.
Absolutely. And I mean, already we mentioned an opportunistic Michigan State team that looked like they had ascended to a different plane of existence against the Warriors and confirmed by a 3-2 victory over Concord that you mentioned that, almost made me lose what little bit of sanity I have left. A 1-0 lead here early. It's a good start. The Warriors, you got to keep the pressure on a team like Concord, though. Any given moment of reprieve will promptly lead to a ball being deposited into the back of your net. Hence why Resch immediately up to the task here. Crisp to the backboard. Crispy, rather. I forget he changed his name to Crisp for this LAN, and it's very confusing to read. It is CMOS to the skies, but cut down by Resch, and now Bluey underneath and steered aside by Crispy.
There's actually, of the 6 players that are on the pitch, only 2 are American, by the way. Only 2. We got basically a United Nations of players that have joined us into CRL and overall. Love being able to see that diversity. So by Indiana Tech has maintained the 1. The key thing that you and I have obviously seen over the course of the day, they're not going to be reliant upon their defense. A great defense for Indiana Tech is going to be in the form of a non-stop offense. They're forcing the cycle from out of Concord. That's going to be a nice drop of Reshiram. He gets it from the backboard yet again. I think Indiana Tech likes playing up into this kind of speed. It feels like the way that they want to execute. And so they're loving the ability to just take down themselves in the same mirror.
Yeah, big clear there from CMOS as Concord looks to press on. No threat here. Velocity will just send this one high. And Resch with 1 touch. We've seen him do so much here in the last 2 series or so. This one gets sent back. Velocity will just send this one towards the net. Crispy is up. He'll get 1 touch and make it 2, maybe a little bit more than 2. Actually, several more than 2. Louis will work this one back towards the middle. It nearly went. It's still available on the near pipe. Velocity pops it high. Helix, the lone American, I believe, for Concord, will work this one back out.
Louis trying to land on this one. CMOS does not have much in level of boost, and he's just going to have some support as everyone kind of cycles out for Concord. Concord has been sending numbers and their third man very deep and back, trying to make sure that they do not get counterplayed. Reshiram and Bluey, bit of abuse. They're aiming for the flip reset, and they get it. Reshi making it 2 up. 96 seconds left in game 1.
Statement made. The Warriors are here to play, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, we were talking about upsets away from the bracket. What did we say Akron was ranked? 5? We were talking off stream? Kennesaw State 3-2. A reverse sweep over Akron Blue.
Wow.
So Akron is out of league play, at least for now. They will have to go through the opens. It is in that pool between now Oklahoma Christian and Kennesaw.
Wow. The Titans out here being felled one after another. There's a few that still keep their reign of tyranny. Northwood being one of those as they kind of wait out some of those results. But the old guard and the new trying to figure out who's going to stand at the top of the mountain. With a minute left to go, Indiana Tech wants to definitely take this first statement piece, set the tone here in game number 1. Love the passing. Resch doesn't have much in the way of boost. He's going to have to play 50-50 sumo style. But Bluey very mindful to get fast.
Concord starting to ramp up the pace a little bit here. Down 2-0. There's a play out in front, but no follow and promptly cleared right back out again. Helix with 1 touch to the side. Resch waterfalls this one across. Crispy, he's not there. No shot available for the Warriors here in the final 30. And here is CMOS. That's all he's going to get. Crispy back the other way. The cut from Helix stopped by Resch, but the threat not gone. Dropped out in front. Denied by Velocity. Crispy In front, Velocity keeps it out wide again, but a double commit for the Warriors shows the urgency. Bluey with one touch, final 10, Demo, two demos in the backfield. Helix, what does he have? It takes too much time, and that should be game one.
Game one, all in the back pocket and in the rear view here for Indiana Tech. They take the first step and then they just lunge forward past Concord. Something that is, I think, going to be a detriment for Concord right now if they cannot be able to shut down what Indiana Tech does early is the amount of push. They are able to get 6 demos spread between a couple of their guys, but it really is about how quickly they answer each other's possession. There was a lot of space given up by Concord. Anytime they were trying to make a pass, anything from the sidewall, everything had a lot more car lengths of space. Felt again like Indiana Tech had a huge challenge with UANL because they're all locked up on top of each other. Concord has to be able to really kind of put them in and pin them in to that last quarter of the pitch.
Yeah, and this is a good team. Like you said, Concord, they won CRL Fall 2024, third in CRL Spring. That was last semester, and the only reason they weren't top 2 was because they lost to St. Clair, who, what did that St. Clair team do again? Oh, that's right, they won CRL Spring. They faced them in the semifinals, and yeah, St. Clair went on an absolute heater. I think it was a 7-game banger over Maryville, if memory serves correctly. Concord is this is a long way to go. We have a lot of conversations still to have, but for the Warriors, this is as good of a start as you could ask for.
Moments of weakness being capitalized upon, being exposed at this point into the qualifier is exactly what teams like Indiana Tech need to find if they want to get past squads like Concord. But the 1-2 combination and Concord finally showing up with the numbers, a double commit between Reshiram and Bluey is not going to give favors to the Warriors.
It's a 1-0 lead. That's the first for Concord, but a 1-goal deficit is definitely within reach for the Warriors. It's just going to take some work. Velocity trying to deposit it to the backboard. That was denied. Bluey will have one here, but that's all. Fresh is going to try and stand up to Simas and does just that, but he dies for it. And a miss there from Bluey will call Velocity into task. This is Helix looking left side for Crispy. Into the air he goes. He got 2 touches. And Bluey up over the top of 1. Quick challenge coming from Simas. And he's going to look for 2. He won't get it. Velocity will get bumped on his challenge. Then Resh back the other way. That's a demo. Resh nearly had the beat. And now Velocity. He's got Resh. That shot is off target. Velocity doesn't have it. And the Warriors will just keep the press for now. Resh challenged in the air. And promptly cleared right back out by Concord.
A single pad of boost and Velocity is dunking that in. Tie ball game in a different timeline, but we'll see this one continue on. Watch it repeat. Reshiram and Bluey, neither really coming up with much. It becomes a 3-man sweep, and there's just no one at home here for Indiana Tech. However, Reshiram will be able to at least make that turn. Helix with the drop over pass. There's a lot less boost right now here for all the boys in blue. They are usually painted orange. Really has been a concerted effort by Concord to make life difficult to rotate in. This has been a low-scoring affair. That one was, what, a 2-0 in the previous game? 1-0 right now as we're finally the first 100 into game 2.
Felix just looking to drag this one back to make it awkward. Denied by the Warriors. And this is what Concord does best. They wait you out. They try and make you as awkward as possible. Blue looking for a flick there. Nothing found this time. Resh would go to the right side for Velocity. Velocity, this isn't a great play from him. Taken right back by Concord again, but this is what Concord likes to do. I think Blue got a piece of that one. Just wait you out, suffocate you, and then the moment that you give him space, it is promptly deposited in the back of your net. Bluey will steer this one out for a moment. He gets the bump on Simas, but he still has the ball. Eventually the 50 comes out, and back we go. Bluey to the backboard. Resh with 1. How much more does he have? There's the 50. Velo is denied by Crispy.
That was so close. And they're trying to be able to bump. They got the back linesman. It's a back pass. Oh, again, just slightly off target. Threat upon threat. Fist shaking at the sky from the old man, trying to kick Concord off the lawn. But unfortunately, they just can't get through. They do force a double commit. Very soft one, though, as CMOS will be hanging out nearby. Crisp and them are hanging out to that side wall. Reshiram is trying to get him to go. Musty in tow. Bluey with a putback shot. It's as honest as it can be. Reshiram trying to pretend that he got the big boost. Just all of a wiggle waggle, but that demo will help out Concord relieve some pressure.
I mean, not for a lack of trying for the Warriors. This is definitely the best effort we've seen out of them here against Concord. And if anything, like we said in game one, it's a statement that the Warriors are not going away easy. They may have lost earlier today to Concord 4-1. This series is not the same. Resh out in front, cleared away by Crispy. CMOS on the extension. That's a good 50 right back to Crispy. It's going to be 2-0. But it was after a very long press from the Warriors, and Concord finally found the outlet.
That low 50 is so OP. He knew that Bluey was going to jump just a little bit faster, so put his car a bit further to the left, receive the ball, and then kick it out mid, and let physics be the rest. So Concord will equal, and maybe better, what Indiana Tech did from game 1 to 2. It's not like they haven't existed. Problem is, existing is half the battle, as you have to persist upfield and find yourself in contention to finally get to the back of the net. 1 more minute to go, and the Mountain Lions may have equalized this series before game number 3.
Crispy's going to try and make it 3. Bumps running rampant. He's going to go for one himself. Bluey just sitting on the goal line, waiting for his moment. And Concord more than content, though, to just run this clock out. That's a quick challenge there from Bluey. He was beat, and Resh had to go fast. Gets the demo, but the net is open. I mean, you had to go at some point, and I think Concord knew that, and we're going to have at least 4 in this series.
All right. One shutout begets another. And that's not to, make light of French stuff, but 3-0. Indiana Tech looking for a consolation prize and maybe miracles on 34th Street. Here at late term in game number 2. They have 3 versus everyone, but CMOS has been cutting the distance between. If there was ever anyone that you had to shut down to try and get beyond the squad, well, it's literally anyone from Concord, but especially CMOS. He's been running the roost right now.
Yeah. I mean, to your point, it was never ever going to be that easy for Indiana Tech to come out against Concord. That first game was. Like you said earlier, flashes of brilliance from the Warriors every now and again. It was fantastic game 1. This is Concord making a statement and saying, we're here too.
All right. Game 3 on the way. If they're going to fight, it's going to be a fist fight, and it's going to be a lot of busted up knuckles. So, a shutout one way and a shutout the other, and all 3 players on the Mountain Lions getting themselves on the board. You don't want the majority of your stats to say saves. They actually had a lot of shots. Couldn't get 10 of them to hit between the pipeline without a Mountain Lion defender in front of them. So, Concord looking like they've woken back up. The cold has been warmed by the engine getting revved.
Here we go, game 3 and a dead kickoff to start things off, but it's right into the hands of Crispy. Straight to the back 4. That's a beautiful denial by Velocity. That would have been an immediate goal for Concord. Resh with the bump. But all it does is delay for Crisp, who will play it up over the top of Velocity, who is jumping early. Bluey is very awkward here. Resh is going to get called into task, and he'll do so well. And now Bluey will take to the skies and try and find an outlet. Flip reset. Actually got around 1, but CMOS was there for the clearance. And now Velocity, he has 1. Helix will try and keep this one in for Concord. Crispy has the beat. And now Resh, no boost, gets the clearance. Velocity looking for the extension. CMOS sends it back. Bluey gets the 50. Resh is up. He's the only one. He'll just pot it towards the net. Denied by CMOS and deflected back.
Wow.
Off the bar.
Wow. End to end. Goodness gracious, Concord is dangerous. This is a team that Indiana Tech is hoping to match, hoping to meet, hoping to be better than, and up and down this pitch. It is not easy. Trying to use a smoke screen to get it around good old CMOS. But he's got some good old 2015 vision. Better than the year it was. Velocity, really just aiming to kind of keep up after this one, take that corner boost. Reshiram has been neutralized to being a mortal man. Something different than we've seen in previous games. So that means that Velocity and Bluey have got to step up to the plate with more than a minute and a half here in game number 3. It's a sweaty one here, bub. Oh, that might have been a giveaway. Bluey's got to catch up. They do defend well.
Sweaty one indeed, and it really couldn't have gone any other way. We were talking this series, if the Warriors are going to come out on top, it would have to be like this. For the Warriors, the path through is not an easy one, and you can only imagine if this is what Concord looked like. What did Michigan State look like in that series? I mean,
if it's anything like what we saw at Drewy, can imagine.
That's terrifying. That is terrifying to think about. That is what stands in the way of the winner of this series. They're both playing for a right to go back for another shot at a lead play spot, except they'd have to do it twice. Helix, no shot available here. Concord just looking to keep the press on. Velocity finds the clearance. Resch with the extension. He doesn't have any more. Crispy gonna look for a little ground pinch. He actually finds an extension there. I think that was Simas. He's sent back by Velocity.
I don't mind that they're booming this ball out a little bit. The problem is making sure that you don't immediately give it over to the same boom ball over to Concord. You have them go to the backboard, forcing them to have to use a little extra boost, elevate to some of that, and they let the ball get away from their possession just the tiniest bit. It's about making sure that zone-wise, you're in position. If you end up just too far and away and you let the kind of the pace of those rainbow shots get away from you, then suddenly Concord is going to dunk down. This is going to hit that high 45, and Simas is going to carry out with it. He's going to have Helix in tow, but Resharem is a man possessed, trying to find something to work out. Soft give back. Who goes? There was a lot of anxiety on that next push-up. You had both Blue and Velocity, but neither man knew which one was going to be the one to pick up. He's looking for just a fat 50 off his fender. In the last 90 seconds, it'll be just one goal necessary.
And it's starting to look like maybe Concord the one more comfortable in this situation. And that proves the point right there. It is Simas. 1-0 with $1:19 to go. And the Warriors, they're going to have to find the back of the net at some point. They have not scored since game 1. And Concord, it's starting to look like they are doing just fine with all the questions that the Warriors are asking so far.
But Bluey's going to try and give them a riddle. They have a follow-up, man. There's too many. Oh, my goodness, wait. Oh, Lord. You had Indiana Tech overcommitting. They had too few players on a previous attempt. Now they have too many. They leave no other options. Bluey with the initial attempt. He's going to try and do it again. Slapper from the sidewall. Less than a minute. Concord has kept Indiana Tech quiet and off the scoreboard since game number 1. They've got to get something here. A give and go. Keeping it low. What a 50! Resharem ties us up.
And who else? How many times is he going to come up clutch? 44 to go. We are tied.
That was a wonderful look. But is it all of a simple moment? A simple spark. Who gets that fire lit a lot hotter? We could have overtime late term here in game number 3. You couldn't want it any other way unless you just want to be an Indiana Tech fan and say Tech yeah and dominate Concord. Everyone looking at this with some very big interest. Bluey's getting abused, hoping to get control. Crisp is aiming to get in the way. That's a double commit. Filling the gap is Velocity. He's been a bit loose of the cannon. 15 seconds left.
Crispy looking to keep the press on. It is Helix to the backboard. Bluey denies it. Final 5, but Concord still has questions left to ask. One more play in front. Cleared out by Resch. Now maybe Indiana Tech with the last gasp. We have overtime.
Goodness. Indiana Tech has a chance to do the funniest thing and get themselves a match point before Concord. Flip reset. Resharem will keep that one in the back pocket. Doesn't look like he quite acquired it. Velocity has been a bit of a moot point right now. Everything that we saw from them earlier on is more of a supporting cast feature, but that's exactly what Indiana Tech needs, is depth. They need to find each other. They'll kick it high. That one goes to Helix. He's got a front man. He's got a no flip reset. This is awkward. Oh, no, don't let it be like this. Oh, Simas. He'll gather himself, and so will Concord.
And just like that, we're on match point. And this is what Concord does. They wait for you to get awkward, and then they pounce. And if the Warriors are going to do this, well, they can't drop another game.
It's got to be game 5. It's got to be game 5. CMOS found both of those off of 2 shots, 100%. Very low shot affair if you actually look at the stat line between these two. One little mishandle right in front of that back third. That is not where you want to leave the ball open and available. But this has also been just very close games. You've seen shutout one way, shutout the other, and then a OT. They're there. They're able to go and fight into the depth of it, but they have to show experience like they've been there before.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing Concord does have, is they have a whole lot of experience. They've done this not only in CRL, RLCS. Look at Chris B and CMOS's record. They've been, I think, top 12, top 8 even in EU RLCS prior to coming over to play for Concord. They've got a lot of it. The Warriors, a new roster, looking to make waves, and if they're gonna make the biggest one of them all, it's gonna have to come with some perfection the rest of the way as we go into game 4.
2 games in a row. You got to take it off one of the best teams in the entirety of the country. What a save. What a putback. Velocity. My man disappeared into outer space. But Velo, he's all go-go.
That is the answer they need after what has got to be a deflating way to put yourselves on match point. To immediately respond like that, nothing beats it. Nothing beats it. There's a shot from Resh Steer to side. Bluey keeping the attack on. It is Helix. Deflected away by CMOS. Resh will have one, and here comes Concord again. Bluey, last man back, gets one touch. CMOS into the middle. That's deflected away by Bluey off the flip reset double. And the Warriors back the other way. CMOS last man back, but Bluey's got no boost to really keep the press on, so Velocity will monitor the position. Bluey will steer that one aside, even though Velo does jump Helix towards the backboard. It's still there. Velo's awkward, but does get the 50, and Resh will look to carry this one out. He's got space and boost in the tank. He'll just roll this one towards an end, and an easy save by Crisp.
Sometimes it's all about just taking the shots, see if someone slips, see if there's a defensive miscue. Concord is often very clean, so you won't find those too easily, but there's no reason not to try. First minute 15 has now gone away. Is Indiana Tech. Uh-oh, that's a freebie. Yep, CMOS is going to hunt that one down all the time. What a pass.
I'll let that one speak for itself.
Yeah. Good adjustment.
Well, the Warriors are going to need at least 2. It's a fake kickoff. Resh does steal the boost, though. He keeps the press on. He looked for a man in the middle. That's too much, though. And now Concord on the counter. This will waterfall straight down, but Velocity does rotate back in time, and he does find the clear. Scary moments for the Warriors, though.
Velo very appreciative that Concord often plays their third man a bit deeper to not have the immediate response, but also to not be counterplayed. Oh, my. Crisp gets a corner slot shot. This was the last time the Velocity in the game were able to get it. That was the credit? Oh, my Lord. Wow. Okay.
Well, they need at least 3 to keep their tournament lives alive. Tournament lives going. It looks like they had a chance there. Helix was back, and promptly Concord is on the attack once more. Hilo will steer this one out wide and look to counter, but CMOS will shut that one down. Crisp from midfield. CMOS the quick rotate. There's the shot. There's the goal, and Concord maybe starting to run away with it here. It's 3-1.
Things are going a little bit sideways. Just the give and go. That undercut redirect is such a fluid motion here for Concord. Indiana Tech is going to need to find a gut check moment, and it's going to happen very quickly. This is a squad in Concord that loves to bury people, and they find a way. They get a way to be able to turn this into a 1-goal game.
You know, if it's a 1-goal game, you got to believe at this point. We've seen them come back from a lot worse with a lot less time. 3-2. 2:48 on the clock. What do they have left? Velo. He's going to go for the bump instead. He is. It's available, but steered aside. Now Bluey into the middle and then cleared out by Concord. That's Simas, who will pursue. He'll just take the corner boost and turn on the ball again. He's got a flip. Goes infield. It's eventually steered aside. He does get both boosts, but velocity doesn't seem to care. Underneath, Bluey just popped off the 50.
Wow. Moment where that could have gone maybe into a tying goal feature. Didn't have a lot of boost to try and counterplay it, but they still went for it anyway. Velocity, well, he's got just beneath him. He's got Reshiram. Reshiram going for the bump. They got Bluey. They've got Bluey. They've got Bluey. 3-3. You got to believe.
And there's the answer, folks. Velocity with the bump. I don't know where Crisp was going. He may have been bumped away from the play as well. Bluey has an open net, and this time he does not miss. A 3-3 tie with 2:09 to go. And Monkey Man, we have a conversation again.
It's always about the volume and pitch and frequency. We go from whispers and heads hung low to just clenching our fists and starting to roar out. Trying to be able to get rid of these pussycats and mountain lions. That is a miss. That's a net. You got to get it while it's good, and Velocity does. 3 goals in a row.
What a response. Crisp with the miss. I was concerned with the slow turn, but it didn't matter. 109 seconds, and now it's Concord who maybe has the gut check coming.
Team in the Mountain Lions that refuses the scrim, the Warriors. Not good enough, say they. Or they're about to let them know how it's going to feel to not be in league play if they can be able to force this into a game 5. 1:35 left. Collegiate attitude and rivalries are so fun to watch and so fun to see in real time. Reshiram, he's going to put this one in an open zone available for Velocity. He challenges into the front face of Crisp. Louis will stay awkward, but he actually brings this one at least to the board to force Simas to not have an open midfield. You have 2 Mountain Lions right on top of one another. Seeing how they can be able to rotate this one. Huge pinch. They do get a demo, but it's a foot race upfield.
This is starting to feel like the Warriors in control here, but we know things with Concord can turn on a dime. Done so well since becoming a team for a reason. They've got a proven track record. We mentioned a whole lot of experience between these 3. This is glued in the Warriors' corner. Final 40 seconds. Concord maybe starting to feel like they might have an opening here. Resh will be called into task as the demo comes out. He will just look for control here. He does get around Helix. Simas gets bumped off the ball. 30 seconds separate us from game 5. Stats sent away by Velocity. Resh is there. Got the pinch mid. Velocity tried for the bump. This is dangerous, and we're tied.
That's what I was worried about. The back man, you saw Bluey kind of looming backwards. He was having to run away. And as soon as they have you looking at your own net, they basically have narrowed your entire sight line of where you're able to defend. That booming clear turned into a rapid counterplay. 4-4. Crisp is going to be right behind this one. Bluey's going to have a full tank. Reshiram can't really do too much with it. Crisp just laying it down into the stripes. Awkward. You've got a man, and he's got it off the post. This is going to be survival to fitness. It's a foot race upfield. They've got an open net. Can they get there? It's going to go backboarded in. No, it's out. Helix puts it to the stripes. Watch out. Seamouse is lurking. Overtime. We made it here somehow.
I don't know. I have no words. I have no words at this point. The Warriors looking for the answer. And back the other way comes Concord. That's deflected in front. Bluey got back in time to commit, though. We've seen this story before. It's in front for Crisp, and that's your ball game. Concord 3-1, but the Warriors not without questions.
GG's in the chat for everyone. A tough one, to say the least. Double commit on either side, and things just went sideways in 2 ways there for the Warriors. It's a sad moment right there because that's where their entire story ends, but not without being, 1, a top 24 representation because they made it to top 3 in this, and this is of 8 separate pools, so job well done, Indiana Tech showing up. 2, the squad in particular, like they forced top 3 team in the entire country to have to go deep into a series to try and beat them.
And I would like to remind everyone from home, once again, this team has been together for all of 6, maybe 7 weeks. These guys are relatively new still. For as high as the bar feels like it has gotten so quick, they've been together 6-7 weeks. Someone out there is going to make a joke about the word I just said. I'm not going to acknowledge it, even though I kind of just did. I don't know. I mean, Concord's a very good team. Now they get their rematch with Michigan State. That's a good team on the other side. They'll get another look at some point, but as for today, it's a 3-1 win for Concord, and that is the end of the CRL qualifier opportunity for now. For now, there's open quals. There's 3 of them. Depending on how they place, they got to get, what was it, top 8, if memory serves me correctly, for a shot at closed quals. If they're able to do that, they get another shot back into league play once more later in the year.
Good to find out how the format falls. It's always about points. It's always about other brackets. But you know what? Good luck over to the Mountain Lions. They have to beat Michigan State not once but twice. Got to make somehow some work. I see Morvo in the chat as well. I was like, whoa, are we serious? It was a little bit chaotic at the end of that overtime. I really hope that the program and that you guys over there, Bub, do look at the VOD, see where there was maybe a chance to kind of separate. The defense, obviously, I think is in question. A lot of things that can be answered and improved, but there's a lot of promise and potential that comes out of this Indiana Tech squad. And also, thank you so much for inviting me to hang out with you guys today, to be able to help out and just throw my voice into the winds and see if the Warriors could fly.
Hey, and I mean, statement made. This whole beginning of the year has been a statement for the Warriors from a top, I think they were originally ranked by a colleague top 23. Now the most recent rankings top 13 we talked about. There are eyes on these 3 young players, and with how young they are, they've got a lot to learn. I'm sure they'll talk about it. They'll move on, but for now, for Concord, it was a good fight. That's a well-played series. That team deserved the shot back at Michigan State, and now we wait for, I don't have the date on hand. I'll find it eventually, but I won't find it on stream because I don't want to sit here and ramble through the internet to try and find what the online walls are.
It's somewhere in the future, but hey, you know what? You guys are still going to be fighting when it comes to like NECC play. You got other conference play, so there's also a lot of ways to be able to check out Indiana Tech. So yeah, you guys go out there. Don't forget,
yeah, Wednesday, 7 p.m. We talked about St. Clair Gold. You know, they're pretty good too. They won CRL Spring. Wednesday, 7 p.m. right here on this channel. The Warriors take on the defending CRL champions. That's going to be a good one, too. Don't miss it. But for now, again, thank you so much, Monkey Man, for joining us. It's been an absolute blast to honestly just share the airwaves with you. It's been so much fun.
It's been super fun. Definitely. I stayed up until 5 a.m. So it was like, all right, what day is it? All right, CRL day. All right, let's do it. All right, let's jump in. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and give some love to Bub and company over there are doing great production and great things with Indiana Tech, and give a follow on all of their socials. You don't want to miss out, especially for this channel that you guys are going to be putting on some good shows, and I can't wait to see it. Honestly, as a viewer, it'll be really cool.
It's been a fun semester this far. We got a lot more fun left to have. But for now, that's all the fun I have to bring today. Thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in here and supported the team out in Chattanooga and everywhere else you've been. We'll be back soon, but for today, that's all. We'll see you later.
They say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't see to